to be really stupid to believe that just because Trump won the election, that all of a sudden everyone out here that believes in diversity, equity, inclusion, loving their fellow people, like you would have to be really stupid to believe that that would vanish and disappear, that people would just change everything about how they feel, when it comes to society because of this. That's really stupidity. Like, I'm under no disillusion that all of the things that Trump represents that are negative in the world would vanish if Trump were no longer president. That would be stupid. Those things would still exist. So for him to act like, oh, well, we don't know, will it ever come back? Will it rebrand? Like, it's never going away, man. It's never going away. And you could keep trying to sell that to your viewers, and they might want to believe it because they need like a pacifier or a baby bottle or something. But the reality is it's just not going away. It's people that are good people that care about other human beings are not going to change their opinions on that because you guys got a W. That's just, the world doesn't work that way, man.
Last 9 months, the woke industrial complex has gotten its ass kicked thanks to the aforementioned cultural shift that was long overdue. And
well, I mean, that's what happens when you have like an authoritarian government.
Be liberal anymore. This is not gonna work. Okay, you can't be liberal. You got to go further left than the Democrats right now. They've given up on us. We got to move. Okay, this is a good joke. You're gonna have fun. Just be cool. Because liberals are such fucking losers. I can't be part of that bullshit. They're such pussies. Liberals, like when Republicans get mad, they form a militia and storm the Capitol. When liberals get mad, they knit a hat that says "Fuck Trump." It's just so embarrassing. Liberals still think art is powerful. Isn't that so embarrassing? They're like, you need my poetry will stop fascism. It's like, buy a fucking gun or shut up. I'm done. It's so stupid. But like, I was talking to my friends and they were like, I love the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. He really went after Donald Trump, you know. Samuel L. Jackson, a black man playing Uncle Sam. What a powerful metaphor exposing the extensive black contributions throughout U.S. history. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure Trump's shaking in his boots right now. He's like, oh, the liberals are attacking with metaphor. What if they acquire puns?
This weekend, Jaws re-released again, and it was like #3 at the box office because when they re-release old movies, like Fathom Events that does all the old movies, they are actually increasing their business because people want to watch the old movies. They don't want to watch this new stuff.
No, that's not why. The reason why those do so well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, there's not a lot out right now. It's in this month. If you look at the box office, just fucking, this is why I get so annoyed and frustrated with just how dumb this fucking channel is.
All right, you assholes. Oh my God, it's me. All right. Well, here's this guy. Hey. Welcome everybody all at once now. Hey, how y'all doing?
Everything everywhere
all at once. Also, Bob, I have a question for you.
How would you like to die today, Bob?
Oh God.
We kid around here. I'm not gonna kill Bob today.
Wait. I feel like there's something implied with that.
Oh, it could be.
No. Look, man, you're paranoid. You're paranoid. Hey, welcome to the Shillcast. We do this every week, and this is a week. So here we are.
Yeah.
So I want to start with this because this is kind of crazy, and I just want to understand this a little bit better.
Okay. Jeremy said several times, I know that the show costs $20K a month. Yes, it does. I pay everybody a salary that appears on my show.
Oh.
That's why Fridays are the only day I make any money. Fridays are the only day that I make any money because I don't have to pay anyone else to be here.
$20,000 a month on streams. Like, bro, you're doing something really wrong.
He's paying like what $5,000-$6,000 a person to appear basically because he's doing 4 weeks, so that's 20,000.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, especially like when you. I mean, I guess when you have the number of subs that he does, which almost certainly has gotten there inorganically. I'm pretty sure his views don't, at least now, don't align with the amount of subs.
No. His channel's really gone downhill, and he even fired people. He cut his staff by like 70% or something.
That's crazy.
I mean, if he has an editor, and like I imagine he does, but like still, like to edit like the laziest slop I've ever seen in my life 3 times a day, you're probably overpaying him.
He had a separate editor, and he had a separate editor, but now he's got someone else doing everything. Like he's paying 1 or 2 people to do like all the work. So essentially, he's saving money by giving someone else a bundled deal of like money for doing multiple things.
So he's probably exploiting the shit out of somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Somebody who's probably doesn't have a lot of experience is just like, oh, I want to work for the quartering.
I can't wait to work for the quartering.
Apparently, it wasn't enough to sustain Melanie Mack, right?
No, she had to go back to gaming. Matter of fact, I haven't looked at her channel since she made that video, but she definitely took a step back. She probably because she had a gaming channel before, so her Melanie Mack stream like content channel was the one that she was going to take a break from, which was the commentary. And she made that whole Cope video. I know that we watched it or whatever. Let's see, 13 days ago. No, she has not uploaded on that channel in 13 days, and that is massive because that's a 200K plus channel. Meaning that she wasn't making enough off of that channel to justify. Because, well, first of all, she wasn't making videos. Her videos were clips from live streams. So she couldn't even justify clipping out her live streams and re-uploading them to her channel.
Wow.
So
that's wild.
Wow. So, I mean, I keep paying them not to show up, and they just show up anyway. So I don't know. I guess they're kind of exploiting me at that point, I think.
Well, I'm waiting for my check. I just thought I'd be like, "Where's my money, man?"
You know what old Jack Burton always says. Times like this, checks in the mail, pal.
True. That Jack Burton's so wise.
So, yeah, man. Over on Twitter, they got they are a lot of chuds convinced that Brie Larson is no longer going to be Captain Marvel in MCU.
You know, they've done that rumor like 50 times already.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's fired, guys. Just like Kathleen Kennedy. Just like.
So they're saying it because they know it's not going to happen, because then they would have to approve of the next person coming in. That's why. Like if Brie Larson was gone, they would have to admit that it was that they like Captain Marvel and it was always just her or whatever. They'd never do that. Or they'd expose themselves and dislike the next person coming in and just prove that it has nothing to do with Brie Larson. So it's one of those things where they're betting that it doesn't happen so they can just keep saying it. That's what I think.
Yep.
No, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Did you guys know that apparently, let me show this thumbnail here. Robert Downey Jr., who is apparently in this Avengers Doomsday movie.
Oh, I haven't heard.
I don't know if you heard about that. He walked out. He walked off set.
Oh, shit.
He's done.
Movie's over. Pack it up, fellas. Time to go home.
That's a pretty big deal, man, because, they kind of were counting on him.
Man, he said, fuck this.
Right.
Yeah. No, he said.
After the fight that's definitely between him and Ryan Reynolds, for sure, that happened, and they've been fighting it like this movie.
Is your mic doing that? Is it doing it for you too, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it doing the same thing it used to do, goddammit?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. I don't know why that is.
I'm wondering if this is the same. Like I read a story like a week or so ago saying essentially Pedro Pascal walks out on Avengers Doomsday set.
Oh wait,
so they have nobody left then. Everybody left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone.
It's just going to be like an X-Men kind of revisited from, the Foxmen movie. That's it.
Until they walk out.
It's going to happen. They'll walk out too. They'll leave.
Let's go ahead and, before we get any more bullshit, let's go ahead and fucking get some good news out there. It's official. Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, July 9th, 2027.
Nice.
Which is weird because didn't he say it wasn't going to be a sequel?
I think I thought that what the thing was that it was going to be like Brave and the Bold was going to be the follow-up.
Yeah. This is a tough one because Man of Tomorrow, if I remember correctly, I wasn't a big Superman reader in the 90s, but I think Man of Tomorrow was just one of the various titles that was out. I don't think it was like a storyline, right? Am I right about that?
I mean, it probably has been a title of an arc or something. I don't remember exactly what. If it was
I think I remember in the 90s they were doing like a Superman comic every week for a while, and Man of Tomorrow was like the extra one that was coming out. It was only like 15 or 16 issues. I think the chat can correct me on that. I don't know for sure, but I do believe that's what it was. The one I remember. So there might be a newer one that came out since then.
I will say in the 90s, I was a dumb teenager, and I was like, I'm a Marvel guy, and I only read Marvel because DC's for losers.
Superman has a big role, but it's not Superman. Well, then how's it a Superman movie?
Is this movie is not Superman 2? I think I think he's kind of just like thinking in terms of
I mean, if it's called Superman Man of Tomorrow, I would hope Superman has a big role in it.
Like
otherwise that's
maybe
or is it just called Man of Tomorrow?
This is not a direct follow-up to the storyline of the first movie. Like maybe it's just like such a departure of the story that I don't know, but
unless Man of Tomorrow is referring to Lex Luthor and it's like a Lex Luthor movie. I mean, that might be a possibility, which would be about taking a risk. That would be a fucking risk. Like,
come on, man.
Movie.
Do a little bit of thinking. There was also already a Superman, and they made a Superman. They can call it whatever the fuck they want. That's not a thing that they can't like. Oh, we already called the movie something. We can't call it that anymore. There's been several movies that have literally used the original. Anyway, just dumb. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a really fast turnaround, though. It's kind of surprising. I kind of feel like this, like Warner Brothers was like, make another one now. You know what I mean?
I mean, if he's inspired to do it, that can happen. I mean, there was a 2 years between the first two Spider-Man movie and the second Spider-Man's great.
If you watched his interview, I watched the whole thing with Horowitz on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. He talked about how, like, after Superman, he was going to take a long overdue break because he essentially hasn't had a break in like 6 years. And so, I mean, I'm sure he still will take somewhat of a break or whatever. Yeah. But like this seems like maybe it wasn't in his mind at that point.
Right.
And so it kind of just feels a bit, not to say that it won't be good or that he won't be inspired to do it well or something like that. I'm just saying that it seems like maybe if he had his druthers, he would have waited a little bit longer. I don't know. But, he ultimately answers to the bosses, the executive.
The studio wants that sweet money off of this.
Yeah, which I mean, it's surprising because it flopped. The first one flopped. Is this
true?
Weird, right? That a flop would get a sequel so fast. Crazy. It's almost like it didn't flop, but they said it flopped. You know,
Dane, I just have to comment. It looks like your head's like sinking lower and lower into the camera. It looks kind of strange.
I'm just trying to show them
that.
My posture is bad. That's what happened. And also maybe
the camera was sinking. It'd be like
my camera is moving on.
I can't even adjust mine that low. I can't even
do this. Do it like this.
But yeah,
I mean, I have a feeling this movie will also have Supergirl in it. I mean, this is after her movie, so it'll be like a Superman Supergirl movie, most likely. They say super family movie,
really
but
fun.
Yeah.
Kryptonite.
I also don't think it should just be Man of Tomorrow. It's giving Man of Steel vibes. It needs to be like Superman or Super Family. It has to have some other like name on it, in my opinion. That's just me.
I don't know.
I mean, I would agree with that. I don't like, yeah. But I mean, and I think they probably, even if they wanted to call it Man of Tomorrow, even if that's what he's intending right now, I think by the time that they officially title it and it comes out, that they would just go ahead and start, calling it Superman Man of Tomorrow because they want to assume that audiences are dumb.
I think branding is important. I think that's one of the things that fucked over Thunderbolts, honestly.
I think they
already
need to do it.
They need to do that. It's
Yeah.
it's like the Avengers
No.
name. Like you don't want to throw the branding away. Superman did really good. If you throw that branding away, to me that's a missed opportunity.
Though I do have to point out, now that Thunderbolts has officially hit Disney Plus, I'm seeing so many freaking articles being written about it. Just like Thunderbolts, 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 and people are realizing, oh yeah, that was a really good fucking movie. That
Yeah,
was
I
like
think
on.
to me it's the best. Look, I don't say this lightly. It's the best superhero movie this year, in my opinion. I think it's the one with the most compelling story. I think it's the most interesting characters. I think it's got the biggest messaging in it that isn't even like in your face. I think it's great. Superman is strong. It's my second one, but I think that Thunderbolts is my number one superhero
Thunderbolts,
movie of the
yeah,
year.
I agree. Thunderbolts like legitimately had, there's on a personal level. I was, if you watch my content about trauma and stuff like that, obviously there's like a pretty big potent through line of that, and it had an effect on me. And I honestly I kind of salute them for taking such a gamble and like not making it. I mean, obviously you want a thing to be more successful than what that movie was, but I don't know.
I was just gonna say I lean towards Superman, but I love Thunderbolts as well. Thunderbolts is a strong second. Fantastic Four is really good too, but yeah, for me it's a solid third place behind the other two.
I mean, that's certainly an opinion. Also, I mean, maybe, but I mean, I liked that there was that was a nod to the original comics. You know what I mean?
The original Thunderbolts
kind of
was
like, oh shit, what's really going on here, kind of thing.
Yeah, 30-year-old spoiler. The original Thunderbolts were actually the Masters of Evil, and that's what that.
Not what happened, but it
does
kind of a nod to that surprise twist ending thing. But yeah, Superman has its limits, huh? I would have thought Superman would be pretty fucking rewatchable, honestly.
I've seen it 3 times. I like there are cracks that I'm seeing the more I watch it, but like I'm also seeing more things to appreciate. So I'm really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to watching it more and doing videos on it once I can get a physical copy.
So just in terms of like MCU, Thunderbolts is pretty high up on my overall MCU list. Like it's
I would definitely rank in S tier. I don't know if I'd rank it as my favorite, but it's definitely an S tier.
No, not my favorite. I mean, my favorite is objectively the best one, and I won that debate that we had about it. Where you
Spider-Man 2 is not MCU.
Mistakenly said Spider-Man 2 was the best, and I've said the correct answer and got it right.
I'm remembering a different debate. I remember.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, apparently the way you debate makes people want to follow Backseater. So,
apparently, we'll get into that. That's hilarious. I
fucking saw that, dude. Let's look at that because that's hilarious. In case you missed it, Backseater is a kind of goofy guy. Okay, and he's definitely going to get really happy that we're even mentioning him right now. So
I've never directly covered him.
Well, he's kind of becoming a thing now. He's made himself a thing, and then Ants covered him yesterday and other times, and he's known.
I'm not fully informed on the Backseater lore. I just know that he did a thing with Bob,
So they had that debate. And he was the one that said that Thor: Love and Thunder needed to make $1 billion and $5 billion.
I did see that.
1.5 billion to break even.
Yeah. He apparently recently he's gone after like Critical Drinker, because he's such a crazy chud that he's like that level of crazy where if you even say something as another chud that's like, I think he said he liked Andor Drinker because obviously everybody liked it so much that Drinker kind of read the room and realized he couldn't get away with saying that one was woke and bad, so he had to say he liked it. And then Backseater is too dumb to realize that that's also a grift. And so he's kind of goes at him in a video, and this guy's gone after everybody. You go look at his fucking stupid channel. He's got several videos about each one of us, and then I guess finally he got around to Ant, and then Ant kind of responded. I think he's really got a.
I think he was waiting for somebody to bite back, is what it was. I never bothered because I found it really boring, so I didn't watch.
I never bit back.
I don't think I watched any of his reactions to my content. I don't think I ever watched one of them.
I started to. I legitimately was like, what is this guy saying? And it was a video that I'd made about Eric July saying that that his the Rippaverse isn't political, right? Or that's not what it's about. And I made a video about that and said, no, it obviously is. Look at all this and this. And basically within the first 5 minutes, he kept pausing before I'd even finished a sentence and started responding to things I had not said at all. in like kind of an unhinged way. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna back away, like Homer going back into the bushes now, because I get weird vibes off this dude. And so that's what happened.
So
and
I watched. Oh, go ahead, finish up.
I think I was right. Is all I was gonna say too. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I watched the beginning of his video covering my They Live video, and it wasn't him, but one of the people on the channel. They were talking about They Live and how much they like it, and what do the aliens represent in that movie? And John Carpenter's been very clear about what the aliens represent. And I had my own take, but then one of the people on his channel said, "Oh, they represent the Jews," and they just went with that, and it was just like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah. For anybody that's not familiar, this is a recent incident here.
I'm gonna show what I'm gonna do to Ant if I ever see him on the street. Hold up.
I'm getting forget. I'm getting forget. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky freaky on. Get that freaky freaky in.
Music and that image there added by me, but I think it fits.
He's gonna get half naked and pound him in bed. Okay.
All jokes aside, if something were to happen, that's incriminating shit. Like I would never ever post something like that on YouTube where I'm like, I'm gonna physically assault someone. I just wouldn't do it.
Well, he's clearly got some issues going on. So here's some other stuff.
That's why he said he was going to pour honey on him. I never knew the origin of why he said that, but yeah.
Publicly slobbering all over.
No. What?
No.
Fucked up my stream.
You did not eat out of the pot.
You just fucked up my stream.
You do not eat out of my pot.
So what?
Exactly.
You just fucked up my stream.
You do not eat out of the pot.
Mom, you just fucked up my whole stream.
You do not.
You just, Mom, shut the fuck up. You just fucked up my stream.
You don't eat out of my pot.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. You don't.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't eat out of the pot.
Like, first of all, like, who tells their mom to shut the fuck up on a stream?
No,
like,
who eats out of their pot?
who does any of the things that this guy does? Like any of it, right? Like it's all.
Oh my god.
So he's a hateful little gremlin, and I would, like I said, I wouldn't have covered him like on this level of show before, but he got covered pretty well last night, and there was a lot of people watching, so fuck it. Apparently he's part of some other subgroup of offshoot of Fandom Menace folks that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know there was this thing. What's it called? Ant said it last night and I forgot. I don't know. Something's, it's like a smaller, crazier, and more demented Fandom Menace kind of thing.
I don't know. There's a couple I can think of, but yeah, all I know is like
they're actually devolving. That's the crazy thing. They're devolving.
God damn it. Devo was right. God damn it.
Yeah, and then just to go back to this, I think it's fucking hilarious that somebody watched the debate that Bob had with him, and his takeaway was, "Oh man, he really stuck it to Bob. I'm going to follow this guy." Yeah. And then went on to be on his streams and stuff, and apparently they had a falling out over some insane shit that Backseater got upset about. And it's just like, man, these guys, EFAP guys, all they do is chase confirmation bias. They think they're so fucking objective and shit, and it's like, dude. To come out of that and think, like maybe if you don't like Bob's content, you think he says stuff that you disagree with or whatever, but come out of that and go, this Backseater kid, he's got what it takes.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. The Gatekeeper Alliance. Thank you. That's what it is. Something stupid like that.
Oh,
Nobody's ever heard of it.
It's a geeks and gamers thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they do seem to think the letter O is the letter P because they did. Yeah, right. They gave.
I saw that.
An award yesterday to.
He's so othetic. He's
so othetic. And did you know that? Yeah, he knows.
We'll show it. You guys will get it. But I'm like, when I first saw it, I was like, the fuck does that say?
Yeah. So he did a stream yesterday called "The Worst Grifters Are Fighting," and it's got 11,000 views now. Good job, Ant, on that stream. On really all his streams, he does really well. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
You've never seen him, you should check him out. So yeah, he says this is like he just considers this like Catwoman's Razzie, Halle Berry, you know.
Dude, like the graphic design on that, I was looking at it like, God, that is so bad. Like, I'm not a brilliant graphic designer, but holy shit. Holy.
This is hilarious. Jason says $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Where can I get a "Don't Eat Out of My Pot" merch? I've got a new store coming soon. I've already started opening up my new store. So I could add that in as an item.
Can we do an oathetic shill too?
We could.
I love oathetic shill. I think that's pretty great.
This is Jack Sheely here with a £5 super chat. I don't know what his relationship with his mom is, but if I told my mom to shut the fuck up like that, I actually might have to be physically disabled right now. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did tell my mom to shut up a couple times like that, and I got slapped for it. You know, so that's what should happen, I think.
I mean,
you know,
I'm sure.
I'm
sure
not
when
pro,
I was a
like,
teenager,
I'm not pro beating your kids, but like a slap of disrespect, you know, to like correct such an egregious disrespect is maybe, you know, right on the line there that I wouldn't be completely against.
Can we talk about how he thought that his mother ruined his stream? I mean, dude, your
Right,
stream
that's
was
what I'm
already
saying.
bad.
Yes.
Like what?
Oh, you ruined the stream by eating out of the pot. You ruined dinner, motherfucker.
Right.
Like, yeah. Out of the pot.
Oh my God. Yeah. It clearly. No, I'm trying to figure out. It clearly says illiteracy. What on the award?
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh man, what is happening with my computer right now?
I don't know.
You guys able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just
Okay.
fine.
Then I don't know what the fuck is happening because this is weird. It did it the other day, and it kind of freaks me out. Where like my screen, where StreamYard is, just kind of goes black, and then it starts slowly repopulating images.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I hadn't seen this image, but they're saying that the I guess the image is making fun of the misspelling. Is that what it is? On here, I can't see. It's so small I can't tell. But is there an inside joke on this that we're not in on? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know.
Shill of the week.
Yeah, but I think the oathetic thing might have been a statement made by Ant that they were clipping and using as the joke. That's what I think is being said.
Oh no, I assume it's pathetic, but the P's clipped off because you can't actually see it. It's merging in with the gold.
Well, actually, now that I look at it, it does kind of look like that's not what it is. It does look like it's just an O.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's what's happening, but I assume that's what they mean when Chris is saying the oathetic thing. Is that what it is, guys? Is that Ant made a misspelling, and so he's making fun of Ant for a misspelled word?
So I'm going to, if I can even hit the button, because I can't see it, I'm going to try to back out and come back in and see if this fixes my screen issue. So, yeah, BRB.
What? Oh, I guess we haven't gone over the really gross thing that this guy said. Hold on, let me go ahead and hold that
He
up.
said something even grosser than what normal he says?
On Twitter, yes. Give me just a moment here. I wasn't expecting Dane to just leave. Jesus. And yeah,
We're always left behind.
I know. But here, it wasn't that long ago I posted on my channel, but let's dig this up.
By the way, everybody watching, whichever channel you're watching on, make sure you hit likes on the channel.
Here we
Get those
go.
Likes up. Get the likes up.
So here's the post. I'm sure you got lots of you guys have seen it, but you may not have.
Oh yeah.
Talking with this guy, here's Backseater on Nazi Central. So essentially, Backseater said he disagrees with everything Anthony is for. Anthony is also against child exploitation. So does that mean you're for it? Depends on which kids it is. I want to know specifically. Then Ant jumps in. Dude, you just admitted you're okay with CP just now. You realize that, right? Backseater, I fucking hate kids. Why should I care if they get raped?
Shit.
Oh, so I can one up you actually. So there is a post here, in the EFAP subreddit, because he would, going after Drinker, of course, activates the Drinker Defense Squad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then they got a hold of him, and honestly, it's been kind of funny seeing some of the ways that their community has talked about this guy. But they somebody posted several images that kind of challenging people to decide which is the most unhinged comment from Backseater, including that one is in there for sure, but there's others.
There's our competitors. I know he's a bit unhinged, but holy crap, that is wild.
So,
No.
Let's see. There's this one. There's the first one. That classic, now classic. Huh?
Wow.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
fucking god.
You've thought about this, man, and that's not good. You put too much thought into this.
Whoa.
Kind of feel bad for you, not gonna lie. You have very little in life. You're made fun of, rightfully so. You live with your mom, who you fight. You're too poor to afford to leave. Your friends aren't real friends, as they make fun of you behind your back. You have lost at life, and it's honestly sad. You could be so much more, but you refuse. You'd rather hurt people than improve. The world is filled with bad people. What's wrong with one more?
Wow.
So,
wow.
Got a few contenders there. And I just want to say that, like, Backseater is absolutely the result of the content that we typically cover. Like, he is
absolutely
second generation Chud, for sure. Like, it's he's so deranged that even they aren't deranged enough for him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's he's a good example of why we do what we do. Is to try to, like, prevent people who otherwise, like, there's a world, a timeline where little Backseater, had some emotional issues or whatever, like I, did when I was a kid and shit, like lots of people do, but then, like, was able to fucking get, the treatment he needed, help, the guidance he needed, and then go on to be like a healthy, decent human being. That's not this timeline, because instead he found probably shit like Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers and crap like that, and here we are. But what he should have found was nothing but media. Hey,
yeah.
Hello.
I do want to give a shout out to Michael here with the $5 super chat, doing the work.
I see behind you. You have almost nothing but media, but then you also have
to anybody watching live or on the VOD.
Yeah, no shit. Thanks, man.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over anybody. I guess I was delayed there for a second. You can help these channels grow by clicking on the thumbs up button. They really do good work here. We appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much for the super chat and the shout out. And yes, do all of these things he said.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys seen it.
Oh my God.
I splurged.
Great shirt.
I mean, he's provided us with some pretty good content and laughs, so I figured I'd support.
Well, he's no longer friends with EVS, so
I'd heard about that. Something like he kind of, the way I saw it framed was that he had a crash out over EVS being friendly with or something like that.
We like honestly, we're not sure about how it went down 100%, but there's no more puppet shows on EVS's stream now. He makes them, but not for EVS.
I see. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good thing. Ryan, what's up, man? How you doing?
Been working on building myself a new desk, so that's where I am at the moment.
Sweet. Yeah, I was trying to say you have almost nothing but media behind you, but you also have
Well, that's a form of media. I'm sure there used to be records.
That's possible. True. Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see it, but my pride and joy up there.
Oh, yeah.
That is nice.
By the way, this week's Alien Earth was so fucking good. It was like a mini movie.
Is it episode 5?
Yeah, whichever one came out yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen
it. It's like a mini movie. Like, literally, if you didn't watch any of the other stuff and you just watched that one episode, it is literally a mini movie, mini alien movie.
That series is so
Okay.
good so
Yeah.
far. Holy shit! It's like vibes the original Aliens.
Five what is that? Rubles or something? No.
That's a euro.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I appreciate the whoever this is to, whatever channel, but the person needs to please call on for this behavior. I mean, honestly, he hasn't, as far as I can tell, done anything that is criminal,
yeah.
but also there is a kind of an issue of like calling the police on, like there's a whole can of worms there that the police aren't typically the most well prepared trained to deal with somebody who's having, just like some emotional issues or whatever. So
I mean, I definitely think he should seek therapy, and I'm a bold supporter of people like destigmatizing therapy. Because there's been times where I've been wanting to go to therapy and I haven't had the resources to do it, and I think that should just be a thing that's normalized, that people occasionally
it really
go
should
to
be.
therapy.
Therapy is fucking great. It's great.
Yeah,
helps. So you guys want to see? You want to play Chud or not a Chud?
Ooh, okay.
Sure.
I haven't played this in a while. A new game show, guys.
Where's it at?
I don't even remember how to play it, to be honest.
Well, I'm just going to put on a video
and find out if it's Chud. Yeah.
So a little hint: if that thumbnail I showed earlier is from this video we're going to check out. So let me go ahead and pull him up here. Some of you might already be familiar. What's up?
Just finished Death Standing 1. Beautiful game. Cool, and thank you for the super chat.
It is a great game.
Do you want to respond?
Chud.
Come here. Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the title, I don't know, I don't recognize his face, but looking at the title, I'm giving heavy Chud vibes.
Well, because I feel like he's pulling it from like a bad source, and that's
but he's using there's a question mark there. That is a big kind of difference from what Chud we do, right?
All right, this is a great comment here from Tough as Fluff, which cool name. Hey Eric, I just want to say I watch all your videos. I appreciate that. I disagree on some stuff, which is fine. People can disagree with me on various topics. I don't mind that. But you honestly made me realize how grifty these people are, especially after the release of Fantastic Four. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't mind disagreements as long as we're civil about it and it's not like a lot of hate and bad faith shit. But I appreciate you saying this. A lot of people say that what we do doesn't really matter, and these kinds of comments show that there is some sort of there is a silver lining to all of this. So I appreciate that. Tough as Fluff.
I mean, I think that. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
I think one thing we've said from the beginning is that disagreements are fine. We like disagreements. We don't all enjoy the same stuff. And if we were all either hating everything the same or liking everything the same, it would be pretty boring.
Yeah.
And I will also say part of the issue is, and the term's gotten so abused, but I mean it in the genuine sense. There's so much bad faith arguments out there that is obnoxious.
Like real bad faith stuff, not what they call bad faith, like real bad faith stuff.
Yeah.
Actual fandom. Actual bad faith, I mean.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying I'm bad faith? No, it's
never.
I mean, what I always thought once I saw this kind of comment enough times over the years that I basically realized, and then I would get emails of people that a couple of them even said that they didn't feel comfortable saying it like publicly. I realized that this happens a lot more than we even realize. But like, you got to think, if you are kind of into watching a bunch of content, like most people, if they suddenly realize, oh God, I've been kind of fooled by this content, they're not going to publicly announce that. Yeah. They're not going to, and that's not to say that they shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, so salute anybody that does fucking come out and just like, hey, man, you
that
realize
takes balls, honestly.
But it's understandable that somebody might also just want to kind of quietly, go, oh man, I got to change the content I'm watching. You know what I mean? And like keep to themselves. So I think it happens a lot more than we even realize, and I've tried to keep that in mind, over the years and whatnot. So, but I get, hey, see you later, man. Have a good one.
I actually love your avatar there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Grogu.
Before we get to the content of the video, though, let's assess it positively and negatively.
Okay.
So, VHS is on his background on shelves.
Positive.
So
honestly,
positive,
dig the vibe Old school vibe. I like it. No.
Yeah.
It's very Chris Stuckman year 2 to me.
Yeah, you know, most part, classic movies back here. You got maybe not episode 1, but like you got Halloween, 7, Evil Dead, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Batman.
Awesome. This appeal to nostalgia is typically not a good thing, you know. In the
that's
I mean,
that's the other thing.
We'll start breaking that down. Yeah.
That's the other thing I wanted to draw your attention to, because first impressions, oh, this guy's a movie fan. Obviously, he's been a movie fan for years. He likes his VHSs. He does the inner corner video shoots, which a lot of people do, so they can get sort of some sense of depth. But then look a little deeper at the actual what films are on display there. And some of them are just filler, but it's also red flag cinema-wise for me there, some titles. Not the actual titles themselves, the lack of variety.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that is that a Godfather toy on the top shelf there? Is that what that is?
Scarface.
Well, that's Scarface, yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it was. I didn't really recognize it totally. I don't watch a lot of like gangster
weird
stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, Scarface is a great movie, but toys,
he's paired up his toys with the relevant covers. So he's got the alien figure next to the alien, the Robocop, and the Predator. So there's obviously a look to aesthetics there.
Here, this is a good point here. Right here, the old Cleveland Indians hat too.
And then also the old
NWO, like NWO, the New World Order over on the WWEF, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was a fan of that shit in '97 too. You know, those are the brief time that I actually did.
That looks like a fresh tee though. That looks like a new one. Like that looks like something he got online. That's pretty.
And notice, like to Ryan's point, like a lot of these movies are like, you know, like cool. I like most of these movies to some degree. But like having RoboCop 3 and not say, you know, A Fish Called Wanda or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why episode 1 really stands out, because it doesn't really seem to fit in with any other film there.
Yeah. It's
sort of thematically.
It's quite a bit newer, honestly.
How many copies of Aliens does he have? Looks like several. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
They have released thousands, to be fair.
True, that's true. There are several versions of the same movie, but all right.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, we could be just really wrong. Let's check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not think that it's any coincidence that 90% of the rumors coming out of the Avengers Doomsday set are painting a picture of turmoil.
Okay.
So based on that,
heavy Chud vibes. I mean,
well, yeah, but or he could be saying, like, I could start a video saying that, and I would say that because of the fact that it's Avengers Doomsday and people are going to make content that's about conflict and how there's chaos because that's going to get clicks, right?
Yeah, the tough thing for me is that some people understand the algorithm. Like, that's the thing, is if you understand the algorithm, this title totally works in the algorithm, no matter what, because it is a question, but it could also be a statement. You know, you never know. I will say this, and this is a little peek behind the curtain. Typically, if something in a title ends with a question mark, the answer's no. The answer's no, usually.
Yeah. Okay, but I just know the Cleveland Indians hat. It's not a classic one. It's him giving the middle finger, right?
Is it? Oh God, I guess so.
That I mean,
okay. Well, let's continue. Let's continue.
Come on, Mr. Ohio, tell us what's going on there.
And you know what? Whether these rumors are true or not.
So okay, he's saying they could be true or not, but you're entertaining them. But well, okay, let's hear what he's got to say.
Is kind of irrelevant at this.
No, it's actually relevant. It is relevant, I think,
because one is true and one is a lie. Like that's the most relevant thing, honestly.
When people say it doesn't matter if these rumors are true or not, that means that it definitely does matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it doesn't matter to his point, which is he's about to make, and I think the game will be over at that point. But
okay.
Yeah.
Because just the fact that people are willing to entertain them tells you just how bad the perception of the MCU actually is.
Because that argument gets used all the time whenever people want to push a lie, because they're like, well, the fact is gay people do that kind of stuff, so it's not too hard to believe that they would do XYZ. Immediately, anything else after that is you might as well pack it up and go home.
I mean, his argument is essentially it doesn't matter whether or not there's actual turmoil on the set, as long as people believe there's turmoil.
Right.
What the fuck does that mean?
Right. As long as you're brainwashed enough, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is like
As
this
long
is
as
like
you
when
have a
Trump
million
says,
channels repeating
you know,
the
before
same
he had
fucking
the
thing.
stroke that he had the other day apparently or something. But whenever he would say like, you know, oh, a lot of people are saying, so you know, like you have to take it serious. Like the other day, the fucking the thing he released about vaccines, where he's like, I've seen a bunch of evidence that the vaccines helped save millions of lives, but you know, some people say they didn't. It's like, what
Let's cut through the narrative here. People prefer gossip to the truth because gossip is more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people like gossip. Because if everybody told the truth about everything, if let's say the rumors were the opposite, everything's going fine with the Avengers Doomsday shoot. Okay, well, brilliant. What do we do now? Whereas the gossip, that's a couple of days worth of press and a couple of weeks worth of speculation online, and then a couple more weeks of people making YouTube videos. For example, I've heard a rumor that this guy likes to have sex with goats. Now, I'm not saying it's true.
Whether it's true or not is irrelevant.
People
It doesn't matter if
The
it's
fact
true or
that
not.
some people believe
Some
it.
people believe it to be true, which says a lot about.
And the fact that people would believe it says a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Checkmate.
There's no logic in that. That's just such a fucking grifter, fucking, you know, curveball that you know. It's the fact that anybody's saying this crazy shit is should be, you know, the perception of the MCU is that let's fucking keep in mind here that how much money has the fucking MCU made? It's obscene
30+ billion just on the movies.
It's got like 20 billion over the next biggest franchise or something like
Yeah.
that. It's ridiculous. And it's only
This is right. He's look. This is, you know, we called it last week. I said last week that we're about to enter 3 months of basically no big releases, and they're gonna be grifting on this shit, right? Already we can look at Nerdrotic stuff here in a little bit, what they're kind of focusing on already, but like it is just what I said. $5 from Michael. In my opinion, while it is fine to have a favorite older movie, but don't remain in the past, it's healthy to be in the present, to progress forward. I mean, yeah, generally, like honestly, like I said, some of these movies are fucking some of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you know,
100%. They're probably behind me right now. Most of those titles, but variety, isn't it?
Just last night, I was watching some 90s movies while I was playing games. I had it on the background. I was just watching them while I was gaming, and I do that a lot. Newer movies, not so much, but there are movies from like the 2000s era that now I'm going back and watching again. Like stuff becomes rewatchable over time. It's just, it takes time to get there. That's why when these guys are like, these will never be classics, you don't know that they'll never be classics because you can't predict the future.
I mean, I mean, the Star Wars has the exact same scale. Like, you have people who hated the prequels, and now the prequels are being reevaluated. Now people like them.
Now it's revisionist history, right?
But now the sequels are bad, and it's like, well, goddamn, just wait for the next generation. It's gonna flip again.
Yeah.
So Sean, they're not releasing those numbers anymore. I think a lot of the streaming outlets are no longer going to release numbers. I know Disney said they're not going to do that. So only the investors will get the information.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that look, I mean, I would honestly be sincerely fucking thrilled. At one point I considered it kind of a goal to get somebody like Robert Evans to do an episode of Behind the Bastards on this shit. Something like that, you know, or even, you know, because it's relevant and has been, but I don't know that
I didn't think so for in terms of exposure. I thought it would have driven up exposure, but now some of them are appearing with Piers Morgan and not being held to account. I think, big.
Yeah. So I feel like it's been brought up a few times. So I'll go ahead and clear this up. I've not seen any story about the chaos on Avengers Doomsday that's relevant.
No.
Every single thing I've seen is about people walking out, and every art story about people walking out is actually just a goosed up piece because they finished shooting and they're done.
Well,
they finished their role.
Here's an example of the sort of gossipy headlines that they like to write about these two films. I don't know if anybody happened to catch this, but I saw one the other day that said Mads Mikkelsen says the casting process for Fantastic Four was ridiculous. And when you read the article, which nobody ever does anymore, he's talking about the 2005 movie, which he auditioned for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, the other lie they pushed about the current Fantastic Four movie, talking about the casting process, and they've said this a lot, is that they didn't do reads, like they didn't come in and do the traditional reads, and the director said that he didn't because he was doing a 3-week, like Broadway style production thing where they're all going to read together in that group, and they would have, made decisions at that point. But they never talk about the second part of that. They're like, well, we know it's going to be a shit show because they didn't do traditional reads because they did a stage show version of the script so he could see them together on stage as a group of 4 instead of individual reads. So they always leave that out. I think actually headlines have done more damage to the literacy of this stuff on the internet than a lot of the stuff we've had to deal with, because people just read the headlines.
I was just gonna say, even if he didn't do the workshop or any of that, the movie turned out great. So what's the argument? They have great chemistry. So even if any of that stuff wasn't done, which by the way, they did do some stuff, the movie turned out great. So what's the argument? What was the argument?
So, oh, sorry.
I was just going to point out that 5 days ago, there's esteemed outlets like Cosmic Book News were reporting that Robert Downey Jr. was threatening to quit.
Right.
And then that seems to have turned into, in this guy's video, that the rumor is that he did quit or he walked out or whatever.
So when he's in the movie, they're just going to ignore this and be like, this never happened.
So it's claimed that things are going so poorly with Avengers Doomsday that not only have the Thunderbolts actors allegedly clashed on set, but Robert Downey Jr. has even threatened to quit if the script isn't finished. Citation fucking needed, Matt McGroin. Report comes as news. Rumors circulate the script has been scrapped and not being rewritten by the Deadpool team. Press fucking huge X to doubt, man. That is so fucking.
Well, you know what's funny to me is we know notoriously Marvel does not give full scripts to actors in these movies because they don't want them to know everything that's going to happen. And this is how they've kept them from telling the press anything. So when actors come out and go, the script's not finished, here's a big news alert for you people. They don't know if it's finished because they don't ever get the full script.
Hold on. I want you to experience this with me. I want you to fucking experience this crazy. This is fucked. All right, so this is the top article that comes up about this kind of rumor whenever you just type Avengers Doomsday rumor in Google, right?
Holy ad apocalypse there on there. What the fuck? 3 ads popped up for you.
Yeah.
Claim that things are going so poorly, right, that it's actually the Thunderbolts actors. Report comes as rumors circulate. Okay, so following the claims that the Thunderbolts actors, YouTuber Doomcock continues to report on alleged troubles with Avengers Doomsday. And you click on this. Oh, well, who's saying that? Well, let's see. The feud between RDJ and Ryan Reynolds, that's been debunked. Okay, but Doomcock is saying that it's actually the actors from Thunderbolts. Do I need to fucking explain to anybody how goddamn stupid it is that this is?
The fact that take anything that Doomcock says and think that it means anything is crazy in 2025.
I mean, the fact that he's already been thoroughly debunked, the fact that his name is fucking Doomcock should be a huge red flag.
I mean, Doomcock is a rare example of these chuds that actually has been fucking debunked to a degree that it is undeniable.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
almost professionally debunked at this point.
Yeah. We did have a super chat here from Super Jones Bro, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. In my opinion, Rumble is insanely astroturfed. I want a viable alt to YouTube, but Rumble is nothing but grifter and conspiracy garbage, a perfect cesspit for FNT. Yeah. So let me also point out that it's the same thing with any of the Twitch spinoff things. They all end up being this because it's a Wild West situation. They're allowed to go in and do whatever they want because those places don't have enough advertisers to give a fuck about advertisers. So they just basically live off of donations and memberships. And eventually that bubble is going to burst. That's why a lot of them are trying to implement rules and trying to implement standards because you have to get advertisers. Ad revenue is much more lucrative than subscriptions. This is why things like Tubi and Roku and all those things, they end up making a lot more money off of ad revenue instead of subs because it's just more lucrative for them. And the vast majority of people don't make the kind of tips that FNT makes. They don't make the kind of tips some of these big guys make. So you can't go over there and have a community that works when your entire business model is we need to make tips to survive. That just doesn't work. And you're right. It's all alt-right stuff because alt-right people typically end up being the ones that are selling snake oil. That's just the reality of it.
Found these platforms in many cases. I think Kick, Rumble for sure. What was it? Bongino had what was it? Parlor or something?
Yeah.
Was his, I think? Or
yeah.
Maybe I'm mistaken there. But like, yeah, it's because it's all a grift, man, because the entire right wing is a grift. Yes, there needs to be alternatives to stuff like YouTube. Not for the reasons that these people tend to astroturf and then build their fucking alternative platforms on. They build their platform based on the grievance of censorship or whatever, when it's not censorship, that their free speech is not being fucking affected. I mean, look at, as that Elephant Graveyard video pointed out, Tony Hinchcliffe saying, I became a free speech guy because YouTube was making us fucking censor words. It's like, well, you're choosing to censor the words so that you can make ad revenue. You don't have to censor the words. You can
you can take the yellow icon if you want.
Yeah,
like take the yellow icon and just make your content.
On numerous videos.
I have too. I've got every Melanie Mac video I ever make is a yellow icon. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's always a yellow icon. Sometimes when you're covering stuff, you take the L. You take the L on
As
it.
Mark Maron has pointed out brilliantly in the last few weeks, and I hope he keeps doing that. Like, it's never been actual free speech that's at risk here. It's just, their ability to make money saying whatever the fuck they want.
Right. But I will agree, in order for places like YouTube and other platforms to not abuse their users and their content creators, there needs to be a viable alternate to it that makes them change. A lot of the changes YouTube has made, look at YouTube Shorts, for example, right? YouTube Shorts exist because of TikTok.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they exist. Their entire system, all the upgrades are doing to it with animated GIFs and gem donations and little hearts and things you can send. All of that exists because of TikTok. And that's why they're doing it. That's why shorts are being pushed so hard. If YouTube had a viable competitor that did what we're doing right now and was able to monetize it more effectively and give more freedom to the users, it would force YouTube to do the same thing to stay in the market.
Yep.
So yes, you're absolutely right. It needs something better. But catering to conspiracy theory, white nationalist stuff, that's not good. I thought Dane was doing.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, man. My shit's fucking up again. Let me.
Oh, okay. Yes, it went dark over there. I was like, Dane, everything got dark on Dane's side. Let's see here. What else do we got?
Well, while you're looking, I will say as well that YouTube.
Well, here I have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say while you were looking that YouTube is a site that is selling advertising. It doesn't care what gets uploaded as long as it can sell. Oh, he's gone.
He always comes back like a bad case of something.
So, I guess a slight change of topic here. Well, we all remember Snoop Dogg from a week or so ago, right? Complaining about Lightyear.
Yep.
Well, we got Marlon Wayne's response, which I actually read over this and I was like, this is actually a really good response. Marlon Wayne's on Snoop Dogg's homophobic comments on children's films. I'm tired of defending this N-word. I'm not going to say that. I defend him on his criminal shit, the Gayle King situation. I took heat for defending him online when he performed for Trump, but this crossed the line. Sooner or later, you just realize someone has issues. There ain't no Hollywood agenda to turn kids gay. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Disney's characters lie, steal, cheat, kill, poison, everything, and don't nobody say it's an agenda to turn their kids into a piece of shit. I watched Snow White when I was a kid. I ain't gave no bitch a poison apple yet. But as soon as a gay character pops up, it's an agenda. The agenda is to make your kids empathetic, not gay. White kids acted the same way when black people started being seen on TV.
That is true.
That's absolutely true.
I mean, it's still happening now.
Yeah.
It's still happening now. So this isn't an older thing. It's still happening right now. I also want to point out Snoop put out an apology and then it got retracted.
Oh, God.
So he put
just going with whatever influence he feels pressured by right now.
Yeah, I talked about it last night, but just brief, a summary of it is he made the statements. A few days later, he put an apology on Instagram and says that he's looking to learn and be better or whatever. This was on his official Instagram. And then less than 48 hours later, his PR people came out and said that wasn't actually him. He never made those statements, blah, 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 acting like he never posted on his Instagram, and nothing has been said since then. So he's literally just going to go with whichever group does the less whining, I guess, for him.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man, that's sad. You know, I mean, he was MAGA before anyway. So, like, even before this, he was, you know,
sooner or later, people will realize that MAGA is like, this is something that needs to be said, and I think it's not talked about enough. MAGA isn't just like for the Christian alt-right white nationalist people. It's for rich people that have a lot of money. People that have a lot of money are in a different world than the rest of us. I know that's hard to believe, but whether you're gay, straight, black, man, woman, if you have enough money or you want access to enough money, you will be willing, or they are willing, I guess, to give up a lot of their identity, a lot of their freedoms to get access to that world because they want to ride out the next 4 years as cozy as possible, and they don't see any problem with it because they're so rich that it doesn't matter. This is the same reason why J.K. Rowling gets away with this shit that she does. She's so rich, it doesn't matter. There's a level of like freedom that comes with money that most people don't have. And that's why I tell people a lot, it's okay to look at a celebrity and give them a shout out for doing something good and something positive like we're doing here with Marlon. I think this is amazing. But you never, ever put a celebrity up on a pedestal where everything they say and do is something that you just go with. That is a very, very, very harmful thing to do.
There should be there's no lesson that you should take from the last decade or so, basically, of you know, politics and cultural, you know, celebrity shit. It's just, it doesn't matter who it is. Always have one foot firmly planted in the fucking notion that this person could betray everything you think about them at any given time, or they could have already been doing something egregiously fucked up or whatever that you know, because idolization, hero worship and shit like that, you go to the extremes on that stuff and you end up, you know, defending the pedophile president Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tough as Fluff and Nate there, you both get it. Like, never, ever, 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 and I mean this, consider a celebrity above reproach.
Yeah.
Never, ever do that.
There are plenty of, just like normal people, because they are normal people, there are plenty of celebrities who are just dumb and plenty of celebrities who just go along with whatever.
I did want to say that, so while we did kind of all come down on the idea that that guy's a chud, we hadn't really gotten to anything that shows him being like a chud.
Oh, true. Here,
like, is he a bigot? Is he, you know, that he's definitely doing some grifting here, right?
Okay.
But we don't need to watch the video to learn that. We can just go look at his channel.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm sure it will be sane and reasonable.
Oh, not my DC.
There we go. More camel toe. Okay. What the
Punisher
fuck? Super
confirmed.
shit. Yeah.
Female Punisher confirmed.
People noticed in Peacemaker that her costume has got a camel toe sewn into it as part of the.
But my thing is, isn't this what these guys want?
Yeah.
Like, she's literally comic book accurate. The suit looks like the suit from the comic. She's a blonde white woman, sexy. Like, this is what they want, right? I don't.
Sorry.
What's the issue?
Who?
The White Rabbit from Peacemaker.
I haven't caught up with Peacemaker yet.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, this is exactly what they were complaining about, the desexification of comic book characters.
Jesus Christ.
Let me just pull up the character here. Hold on. I'll do it. So I'm trying to find a comparison picture with the TV show, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, this screams Chud louder than even Snarky J's channel, to be honest. Even
stop. Harry Potter Snape is black. Fantastic Four will modernize Human Torch. Nah, not at all. Not sure.
If by modernize they mean be a bit more comic representative of the way he's been for a long time, then yes.
I don't know. I don't see it, guys. I don't see any Chud stuff going around here.
Why is my auto playing there? Hold on.
No, he definitely he's a.
This is all just pure outrage grift right here.
All right. Well, that's settled then.
Okay, yeah.
real
So
sh-
here is. Hold on, I just want to show you guys this. So, share screen. So this is like if you talk about what Chuds are asking for, White Rabbit is literally the epitome of what they wanted. So here's the character from Peacemaker, like basically a Playboy bunny character, right? And this is comic accurate. This is what she looks like in the comics. So she's very like, you know, sex kitten look or whatever. People said that he wouldn't do this, so they do it, right? They put her in the sexy outfit, and she's done a lot of photos of herself here, like selfies and things like that, being on set. So this is literally what they've asked for, and he gives it to them, and then they complain about it for various other reasons. They go, well, no, we didn't actually want a blonde, sexy character that doesn't talk and is just there to be objectified. That's not what we wanted. We wanted something different. No, this is exactly what you asked for.
I absolutely guarantee you, if he went for more of a streamlined, like less sexified version, they would complain that wasn't comic accurate.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like, there's no winning with these guys. That's one of the points I've made repeatedly. There's no winning. Like, they will argue outrage.
That's
whatever angle works. Well,
I forgot about this part of the character. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with her in the comics. I just know what her pictures look like. But yes, there's a story where she's like, it's like two different people existing, and they split into two or something. I think that's how it works. But yeah, but the version that they keep showing, the image in the comics that everybody does on the covers is the blonde, like sexy woman. We might never even see her again. So she is literally the epitome of what they wanted. Background character, sexy woman, objectified by everybody. Her camel toe is discussed. Looks like a Playboy bunny. Everything they've wanted. Okay, so look, this is a good one. Do you think James Gunn would be one in the wrong for putting her in the show? This is one of the toughest things that I think our community has to deal with, is that we don't want sexy stuff in things. And I think that is a misrepresentation. It's more about consent. It's more about like the actor wanting to do it, not being put in a position where they don't want to do something. If a director wants somebody to do something and they're okay with doing it and it's sexy, put it in there. I don't care about it. Like I'm okay with that. I'm not one of those people where like, oh no, nudity. You know what I mean? Like I don't think a lot of people in our space would argue that.
Very, very small amount of people that would even kind of take that position, I think. Like,
as a straight white man, I do like looking at sexy women. I will admit it's weird. It's weird, but yes, I do. Yes,
positive. It's a positive thing, actually.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like, because a lot of them were going crazy over a lot of the nudity in Peacemaker and stuff like that. And this is supposed to be the community of like more sexy. And then they do it, and they're like, no, we didn't mean that. We like that's degenerate shit. It's like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, I didn't mean to say you were just like that. I just don't know if James Gunn is trying to appease his crowd. I think James Gunn is a representation of what the average person is, and that they're okay with that kind of stuff. They don't have a problem with it, because James isn't always right. I'm not like this James Gunn is always right kind of guy. You know what I mean? That's not my position on that. But I think that him putting someone sexy or having something sexy in his show is a representation of like just the average audience. Like that's what they're putting in there. Like you can't. Like, that's why the Chuds are having such a tough time right now with everything that's happening. James Gunn isn't doing anything that's necessarily antithetical to what they believe. They just know they're supposed to be mad at him because he's making stuff for DC and he's making superheroes and he worked for Marvel and they have a reason to be mad at him. This is a guy that was canceled and they argued to get him hired back.
And I also add the most important element. He's vocally anti-Trump.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of things on paper. I think James Gunn is one of those guys that wants to make media for everybody, but they are adamant about like coming after him. And I think that's what's happening.
Absolutely.
The issue has never been for the left that there are sexy women in things. The issue has always been that's all there was for a long period of time. That's why the Chuds always go back to Ripley and Sarah Connor as the only two good female characters, because they were the only two we really got.
Yeah.
And so when the only two you're getting, and even then, Ripley was sexified to the point where... Wasn't it Ridley Scott complaining that because she refused to shave her bikini line, that they had to airbrush out the pubes or something? It's some ridiculous...
I don't remember, but I just remember that outfit at the end of the movie. It's like, the fuck are we doing? No.
Yeah, I mean, also beauty standards change over the years. Like some of the things that were attractive in different decades are not attractive anymore, vice versa. That's been historically, that's the way the world has gone. Things that are hot at one point are not hot at another point. It's like with fashion trends and stuff like that. So I also think that people need to realize that back then, even though they were doing more like masculine type stuff, guys liked that kind of shit back then. They liked women that were macho and like that. They loved that just as much as they loved the Baywatch shit. It was like they loved all of it. It's only been recently that guys, straight men, have been like rejecting women, a portion of women. It's really kind of weird, honestly.
Well, you know, and it's dubious whether or not they actually really reject the kind of women that they talk about being, you know, because I think some of them actually, you know, really want that kind of woman, so they can like
that Whatever podcast. You guys seen that, right, Dane? You seen the Whatever podcast or whatever, where they have the women around the table and like the two guys on one side arguing with them? I'm pretty sure you've seen the clips of it. Okay, well, basically, it's like it's a podcast. I don't even know if it's still big anymore, but it was big for like a couple years. But it would have like two of these alpha males on one side of the table, and the rest of the table is like OnlyFans models or things like that. And they would just try and like demean them at the table. But at the same time, these are women who were making 5 times as much as the guys at the table by selling media to other guys.
Right.
Fresh and Fit does it too, Screwface. But
I have seen that format now that you mention it. Yeah. So, you know, as I said earlier, it's going to be a dry few months in the theater. You know, and as Jester Bell apparently is grifting on. Jaws did pretty well in a re-release, which those movies typically do. You know, they put out the prequel movies, Star Wars prequels or whatever, not long ago. Those did really well. It's, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing for movies in general. I think it's a good thing for theaters. And as I think Lucifer said earlier, they're widening the revenue streams by doing this stuff more often. And that's a good thing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like Jaws. The reason why Jaws came out was the 50th anniversary. If I had spare money, I probably would, in spare time. Time's the biggest thing. I would have gone to see it because seeing Jaws on a big screen would be fun. Because Jaws is a
What's
great
notable
movie.
is that she would focus on that instead of like, you know, go see Caught Stealing or Weapons or something and talk about one of those, right?
Or the fact that Fantastic Four is about to cross, or it already crossed 500 million now. It's heading towards 520 million.
Yeah, but it has to make
2 original
billion to break even, right?
Right.
It has to
You've
make
got 2
1.5
original
billion.
movies there in the top 5, and are the Chuds talking about them? Are they covering them?
Yeah. If you don't count
Also,
Jaws,
still in the top 10.
Oh wait, Roses isn't Roses like a loose remake of For the Roses now?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. So Weapons and Caught Stealing are the 2 that are pretty impressive, honestly.
Which both I want to check out. I've heard really good things about Weapons, and Caught Stealing is Darren Aronofsky, I believe. And he's like somebody I frequently enjoy. So
I've heard it's pretty okay, but like I mean, I didn't really see the kind of reviews from it. Just kind of perusing that I would have hoped for his movie. That's like kind of it's more like the trailer makes it come off like a Guy Ritchie via Aronofsky kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, that's what made me
I'm not
curious.
against it.
It doesn't look like a Darren Aronofsky film.
So I just checked. Nerdrotic did one video about Weapons, but in the title it says, "Yay, no Pedro Pascal." That was his Weapons review.
Wow, because you know, just saying a review of Weapons would not get clicks. That's why.
Yeah. So he did one, and Critical Drinker did one 3 weeks ago. But that's the only thing that's showing up. There's one video from each one of them.
I'll give Critical Drinker credit there. Because I'm pretty sure it probably just says Weapons review or something, or maybe some kind of little snarky.
No, it actually says it actually says Weapons, a superb horror mystery.
Wow. You know, that is a bit of credit over Nerdrotic, because Nerdrotic literally cannot just activate his audience by putting something like, oh god.
Okay, I'm breezing through the beginning of the Critical Drinker video, and he shows like dumpsters, trucks dumping on Superman and stuff like that. Like it's.
Oh yeah, he's going to do it in the video for sure.
Oh yeah, in the video,
even
it's
if
always the same.
Even if they do a positive review, they got to dunk on something else. They can't.
That's the thing.
Review.
So the only way I will ever give them credit for any of these things, if they do a review without mentioning any other thing, like do a review of Weapons and don't mention any other stuff. I don't care that the title's positive and you guys give him credit for it, that's fine. I personally don't, because I've watched so much of this shit when I do my reactions that they always talk about other movies.
Now I remember
I'm just
years
saying
ago,
that it is I'm not real actually credit, but it's just like he's got a little bit of I guess I don't want to call it courage, but like to me it seems desperate that Nerdrotic would do something like that. It's just in the title of a movie review when it has nothing to do with it. It's literally just obviously meant to activate the fucking anti-Pascal.
It has a little something to do with it, because originally Pedro Pascal was one of 2 or 3 actors cast in Weapons that had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts.
Okay. Well, yeah.
He is a busy dude.
Yeah.
But no, it's by the way, if you haven't seen, have you seen Barbarian, Bob?
No, I have not.
You should, man. If you saw Barbarian, you'd be more excited to see Weapons. Barbarian's fucking one of my favorite horror movies of recent years. It's really good.
Also, I want to point out that was one of the very big underperforming videos on his channel in the last 3 weeks. Was that review? It's like most of his videos are like 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, 1.3 million views. His Weapons review, even like trying to frame it in a positive, is 583,000. So it's like
always
a fraction. Yeah, it's a fraction of the views he gets on all of his other stuff.
Well,
it's always usually less than half for a positive review.
They're going to be having a hard time.
Go to him.
Sorry, go ahead.
People don't go to him for his film opinions. They go to.
They don't go to him for anything positive or even neutral. If you just look at his movie that he made, you know what I mean. I'm sure he thought that if I make a movie, my audience will, same thing with Eric July. They fucking vastly overestimated how much they could translate their audience, transfer them over to some media that they put out based on all the years of grifting. Yeah.
But anyways, we got fucking Gary Nerdrotic here. Holy shit, Jaws is number 2 at the box office.
Yeah. Hey, that's
positive.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And having worked at a cinema and having done these retro screenings, I can tell you now, most of the time, people don't turn up for them, and it's disappointing. But whenever there's an anniversary and they actually promote the fact and they do a sort of a wide release, they always do well.
Yeah,
because
I think that there's been more theaters in the vein of like Alamo Drafthouse cropping up here and there, in the last few years. So those types of things definitely do the promotion.
My theater is a full restaurant bar, and it's always packed with people. But it has a full menu. Like you get a table and everything, so it's always busy for that reason. I think most theaters are going to have to start doing that because that's really the way they stay in business.
It needs to be like a whole a more thorough experience, I think, to get people out. Yeah.
By the way, I just typed in Nerdrotic Jaws just to see if he even made a video about it, because honestly this would have been a banger video. If he wanted to do like a culture war shit, he could have like said, oh look, Jaws beat Fantastic Four, beat Superman. He really could have ran with it, but he didn't make a single video about it, not one.
But don't worry, he made a video on G20.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what, he might be kind of doing it. Twitter might be a bit of a testing ground for what he makes a video about, you know what I mean? Like he might have put this out there to see what people respond to it. And but another thing he's put out on Twitter lately has been in response to the movie The Savant, the trailer.
Oh,
you guys seen that trailer?
Yeah. So I haven't seen the trailer, but
let's see what he's laughing.
Well, real quick, the official trailer for Savant, starring Jessica Chastain. The series follows an undercover investigator and mother who infiltrates a hate group online to detect and prevent domestic terrorist extremists before they act. Premieres
it's not even out yet.
September 26th.
No,
they're already astroturfing it. And it's not even out yet.
It's
surprise.
Apple Plus.
Yeah. So there's no box office. There's no box office to even go after for this.
But it's become a big ass meme over on the Nazi.
They laugh.
Yeah. Why are they laughing? Right? Like what's so? Let's take a look at some of the memes. Maybe we'll figure it out here. So here's some memes.
Oh, you got some memes. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
All right. I'm always scared to surf Twitter. You never know what's going to pop up.
Why does this racist little frog guy have to be so cute? So apparently this is the format. Her looking on here. Wait, there's a functional country in Africa and they fought in shorts? It claims to be a woman, but why is the cranial volume so large and the femur angle? Why is it so low? There's something about the hands.
We're talking about Jessica Chastain.
I don't know. I'm not,
Is it really that? I mean, is their plate so empty that this is what they're worried about? This movie? I mean, is that really where we're at?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I think it is a TV show. Actually, now that Bob points that out, I think I saw it was a TV show. So it's a week-to-week thing. So they'll be able to talk about this for 2 or 3 months, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they will though, because it's Apple TV, and they seem to completely ignore Apple TV.
So here's Grums, who's always correct factually. And he says that it's laughably exaggerated and not true, and it's just propaganda for the left. What he's referring to is the hate groups, the hate groups on the internet and extremism. Well, let's learn some stuff about that.
Do they just not understand what it's about? It's about somebody who uses the internet to track down domestic terrorists, not people who shitpost on Twitter.
Right.
It's because his comment there about it's the left that are cancelling. She's not out there looking for people to cancel on the right.
No,
or for people
she's looking
on the
for
right who are
criminals.
I also just found out it's literally based on a true story.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
of course
it
it
is.
is.
It's about someone that went undercover to infiltrate these online extremist groups. So this is a true story. It's not even propaganda. It's a real thing that happened.
A July report from the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism found hate not only spreading across the internet, but becoming more profitable. This is a nonprofit organization started by the New England Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, said monetization efforts that once existed on the edges of the internet could now be found in more mainstream spaces, including cryptocurrencies, crowdfunding, live streaming, and merchandising. These operations are no longer confined to fridge corners of the internet. Now the pipeline of monetized hate runs directly through mainstream platforms, reaching wider audiences and creating financial incentives for others to join in. A June report from the Center of Countering Digital Hate, a nonprofit group that studies online extremism, found that even after YouTube had banned Andrew Tate, a self-described misogynist, many videos of him remained active on the platform with ads, with 100 of the most viewed clips having racked up almost 54 million views. And reports from the Global Project Against Hate and Extremism said neo-Nazis have been monetizing their message on Roblox. Yeah, so this goes on and on with multiple studies done by multiple organizations that just show that, apparently Grums he's wrong for the first time ever today. I'm sorry.
You know what? The funny thing is, Grums, for me, I don't know if he's still getting a lot of traction. He's kind of fallen off. He reached his final form, and that was it. He was wrong about too many things. He's not showing up on anybody's streams anymore. Videos about him aren't getting clicks anymore. I think his relevancy, I mean, what happened with this game obviously affected him, but I think he just got to the point where people realize he literally doesn't know what he's talking about the vast majority of the time.
Well, I mean, we covered him. We covered one time. I don't think you're on with us, Eric. Where we kind of did a little bit of not a deep dive, but there's an article that kind of went into his history and where he kind of he's just another guy who overpromised something. Like he was successful one time with whatever game it was. What was it? World of Warcraft or some shit that he was.
I think.
Yeah. And then the next thing that he was supposed to be responsible for was like a big, disaster and didn't do well. And he, essentially came out that he mistreated his staff and all this shit. And then from there, he's just like any entitled fucking white dude tends to do whenever he loses what he feels he's entitled to, whatever position and money he feels he's entitled to, they start grifting on the internet. And the most griftable fucking people on the internet are, on average, generally younger, but also just generally white men. And then others fall in with that as well. But
I do want to address this comment because, Black Klansman came out a few years ago. Considering its premise, imagine the field day Chud would have with it if it opened now. I do actually want to address Black Klansman because that's a really good movie. And I remember when I first reviewed it, I criticized it because I thought Spike Lee had done a really good job with the movie, but I thought the anti-Trump messaging on the head, I thought he was hitting he was being too blunt, too in your face about it.
Yeah,
and I thought it was kind of obnoxious. Overall, good movie. And now, years later, I kind of realized that's almost the messaging you have to do to get through.
Yeah,
to
now I mean,
some people. Now I look at, I'm like, yeah, he's right. That movie's even better than I gave it credit.
It's also based. That's another one that's based on a true story.
Yeah.
So apparently, even when you make stuff about stuff that actually happened, that's unbelievable. Reality is now unbelievable because various governments and intelligence services have been using the internet to spy on terrorists on the internet for years. We never hear about it though, because, well, for various reasons, but mostly because those are the terrorists and extremists that they stop. We only hear about the ones that they don't stop. And also they're spying on you if you're on the internet, and that's a big problem. But yeah, I don't understand why they're surprised that this is a woman doing it. I mean, the people that work for secret services, analysts, they are normal people. They're not James Bond.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the Jack Ryan character, although as extreme as the situations he gets himself in.
I mean, the argument could be made that they aren't typically as beautiful as Jessica Chastain, but that'd be about it.
Well, you know, Grace Randolph hates Jessica Chastain, so.
Oh God, yes, the greatest movie critic.
No one knows. There's like a deep lore on why she doesn't like her.
She's only a talented actress, so.
No, I mean, like, it's really weird. There's clips and clips and clips out there for going after Jessica Chastain for no reason at all, and no one knows the history behind that. They're like, what did Jessica do to her?
How many others are on her hit list? Because she hates James Gunn.
Yeah.
She hates Jessica Chastain. Maybe covering films really isn't the job for her.
I don't know how to answer this because I really haven't watched a lot of Starkey J's videos. I think maybe two of them.
It actually depends on the video you watch.
It's
so
I
guess the answer would be
she dabbles
yes.
in grifting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think mostly her channel is okay-ish.
Okay,
but
so
she definitely has grifter videos.
Let me ask a question to you guys, because this is, I guess, by my definition, she probably would be. I typically consider grifting to be like someone that doesn't actually hold their positions consistently. So they do things just for money. So even if she makes one video that is misleading in order to like scam her viewers, that's considered grifting, right? In my definition.
That's fair. That's
I don't know if she's a grifter by the sense of like a serial grifter, but I think she's done grifting content, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. So I guess because I think DJ's definition is very valid. So yes, I would say she's.
So I wanted to just kind of look at this real quick too, about Nerdrotic as well, because I'm just kind of checking out his Twitter. It's one thing. It's foolish to be to not be aware of the observer effect. If you're kind of observing or reporting on something, like there's going to be an effect even if you're just observing. But he's not just observing. What's interesting is how they talk about this stuff as if he's not a factor in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's got over 1 million subs. Him and Drinker and all these guys, they constantly, their entire goal is to get to this, to where these movies are not doing it well. Now that's setting aside the fact that the movie did better than he likes to talk about, and was also much better than he says. But just reporting on as if he's not a factor in it all is pretty fucking grifty. Why aren't men showing up? I don't, must be because the movies are bad, and that's it. Oh well. It also could be, as we've heard many, many times, that you constantly tell people, typically young men, that the movies are bad. They don't go see them. They just listen to what you say and trust you on it because you're a fucking, comment.
Because you're a reliable source.
Yeah.
I think this is why the secondary market is being so successful for the studios now. Because all of these people, they're not going to see it in theaters. And they're sort of sneakily watching it in the comfort of their own home and then actually liking it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I also wanted to the reason I went to his Twitter is I want to look at the comments to this, this whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't even need to look at this. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? I do. Because this is just.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, man, that's weird. Why does she have black kids?
Does adoption exist?
White man bad. Okay. Stop imagining fake scenarios, huh? But these are real scenarios. Guys.
It's a real story. I don't know.
You guys are literally.
I mean, hang on, go back to that one a minute. Isn't that exactly what they're doing?
Yes.
In this entire thread?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, this is based on a true story, so these things actually happened. What you're doing is you're imagining how it's going to be all about how bad white men are.
Mm.
There's an response that just is calling it more anti-white propaganda.
Yeah. You know, these are the same people that thought that removing the cracker from the Cracker Barrel logo was white genocide.
Yeah, that's totally worth being outraged over, by the way.
Right, but totally overlooking every other systemic problem that every other marginalized community has in this country. The Cracker Barrel logo was the most important thing to them for like a week.
Oh, yeah, which just blew my mind. Like, how big a snowflake do you have to be to care about the
We
Cracker
don't
Barrel
know for
logo?
sure that he sold meth to minors. I mean, I see that said a lot. I don't know that he sold it to minors.
So to be fair, we don't know that he didn't, and so
right, that's true.
So it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant which one is true, because the fact that we could possibly believe that he would do it is all that really matters, right? I mean, that's the way it works.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he did sell meth to minors or not. The fact that we believe it to be true is almost what's more important.
That's it. Are we doing this right? I think that's the way it works, right?
Yeah.
So Sam, this was the other thing I want to point out about the Cracker Barrel thing. I thought about this, honestly, it was talked about so much around me that I was like, okay, have people lost their minds? I don't care what the logo to a place looks like if I'm going to buy things from them or eat at their restaurant. I don't care unless it is like a white power logo or something like that. Like I don't,
a swastika or something.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's got a dude sitting in a chair or not. Also, it was pushed as anti-white when literally it is pro-technology. That's what it was. It was to make the logo look better on a phone and a tablet. That was the whole reason they did it. If you look on your phone, you'll see a lot of those detailed, intricate logos we used to get back in the 80s and 90s are gone in exchange for like simple text and colors, because that's what works on tablets and phones. So blame technology, guys. Blame technology.
Yeah. Wait, what did Disney do making fun of the Cracker Barrel thing?
Oh, I don't know.
And real quick, I want to stress, like, removing the dude from the Cracker Barrel logo is not anti-white. It's anti-yellow, because that's a yellow dude. That's a yellow.
Oh, no.
Josh Johnson had a good stand-up thing about it. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. He's on...
It's Aegis, too.
Huh?
It's Aegis, too. He's an old guy.
Yeah. But he had a funny little stand-up bit where he talks about, like, he says, you haven't seen the Cracker Barrel. You know, Josh Johnson's a black dude, if you aren't aware. He says, you haven't seen the Cracker Barrel logo. Get ready. He goes, it says Cracker Barrel, and then it's got a barrel, and then it's got a guy. And he's like, trying not to say cracker. It's like,
well, there's even worse things to the story, though, because they believed, I don't know if this is supposed to be a segment or not, but I do want to just mention this.
We can dive in, yeah.
They believed, Cracker Barrel believed that just changing the logo back would be the end of it, but it's never the end of it with these guys.
No.
They said that they have to do away with all of their DEI practices, no more pride stuff, whatever. And guess what Cracker Barrel did? They did all of that. So they completely removed a lot of that from their website, scrubbed it from their search, and like all their search history and everything. It's all gone. They got rid of all of it because it was never about the fucking logo. It was about them forcing this company, blackmailing, bullying this company into doing what they want. And I'm not pro-corporation. I don't give a fuck about corporations. But the point is that the material harm that's going to be done now is that now that they've walked back a lot of their inclusive stuff, people in the marginalized communities will be treated differently when it comes to working at Cracker Barrel or going into Cracker Barrel. This is what they wanted. They didn't care about the fucking logo. They didn't really care about the logo.
So, to answer this question,
we don't have. We don't have that.
Not only have I eaten there,
it
I worked
sounds
there
awful.
for a time.
It's got a terrible name.
It is good. It's actually very good. I mean, I think so. It's been a long time since I ate there, but I fucking enjoyed
if you like home style cooking, because that's what they.
It's kind of like hot ovens and stuff like that.
It's just basically exactly what you would get if in the South if you went to grandma's for breakfast on Sunday or some shit. Like it's that kind of
it's that, yeah. And they expanded their menu a little bit. Like they offer Americana now, so like think steaks and burgers and things like that. They have that on the menu. But the primary thing they offer is like Dana saying, like something you would get from your grandparents when you go home for like a holiday or something like that.
Saying cracker is not racist. Sorry, it's not. I mean, it might be a slur, but you know.
Who said that?
I don't know. This guy that I'm pretty sure might be a troll. I can't tell. I don't know that he's really coherent to himself. But,
I didn't see that. Did they have me blocked or something?
No, I don't.
Juan Goo. I don't know.
Oh, I'm trying to say. Okay, there it is.
Oh yeah, he's definitely Chud here. Yeah.
Oh.
Just really dumb fucking comments, man.
Don't worry, guys. The stream is saved. Chariot is here.
Fuck yeah.
Amazing.
Now it's good. But yeah, there's a whole lot of really, really sus and then just openly fucked up and far right borderline Nazi shit going on in the replies to Nerdrotic's post.
As there always is.
Well, bear in mind, 75% of those responses are probably bots. So
possibly, yeah, probably. I mean, what is it, like 70% of engagement now? Is that?
Yeah,
Dead internet theory is true.
Yeah, it's like 50% on most platforms, but like 70 to 75% on Twitter. And I will always call it Twitter because fuck Elon Musk. Because
well, I think that thing, the post you showed from him about the box office not doing that well, like he said, it's exactly what he wants, but also not what he wants. And it's like all of these guys. This is just another example, like the self-help dating guys. They don't want people to be successful with women and find a partner, because then people stop watching them. They want to keep people sad, lonely, and depressed, so they give out bad advice that sounds like good advice. And to be honest, I could solve both problems with the loneliness epidemic and box office decline. Guys, start inviting more women out for dates at the cinema. Pick a film and then go for food afterwards. Simple as. Talk about the film.
That's like a crazy solution. That just might work.
okay, that is backwards though, because you're supposed to get to know them, and then if you enjoy hanging out with them, then you go to the movies. Come on, Ryan, get it right.
I really don't know what's happened to dating culture in America. It used to be all over this. Do people take their first dates to the cinema now? That's my question. I know I'm asking the wrong people. Generally.
I actually almost never take a first date to the cinema. Usually we go out to eat. Sometimes we'll go to the movies, but usually that's more a second date thing.
Yeah, I feel like movies a second date thing. I agree.
Fair enough.
Whoa,
although
cat.
I will say, first date, the big thing I usually like to do is go out to eat, and if we have fun, we go to an arcade afterwards. But it's usually something where we can talk and engage with each other.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem with films, is that you have to sit there for like 2 hours and not talk. But having said that, like I said, you need to schedule it so that you go early enough so that you get food afterwards, and then you discuss the movie over food. And whether you liked or hated the movie, it's a great thing to talk about without having to worry about making conversation.
I mean, it's not common, but I have occasionally talked to women and encountered Chud talking points, and it will blow my fucking mind. I'll just be like, "Oh, what are you saying? Stop it! What are you saying?"
Oh, look, another cat.
Oh my
gosh. I thought that cat had just walked across through the screen. But your cat's also in the background.
Yeah,
they're duplicating.
They're both black and white. Yeah. Oh, look,
is this
that's
like
so funny.
Is this like the Prestige? Have you both got a machine?
There's a portal. The cat can just walk back and forth.
Pocket universe.
Amazing. Oh, I wanted to say something actually. I'm glad that I caught you here, Eric, because that Jester Bell video, huh?
Man,
so there's a lot that I could say here, but there's a couple things that she says in that video, like a couple claims she makes about like Disney and Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah, I missed a few of them. It's so many, my head was exploding. So
I was listening, and I felt like my you know that feeling where you're like you don't realize that your like jaw is clenched, you know, like I'd unclench my jaw because I was listening and I was like, I just spent like a whole week watching like Mark Hamill interviews and like Ryan Johnson interviews and stuff to get footage for like a researched video debunking a ton of that stuff that I've got scheduled on my channel right now. It's a members thing right now, but it'll be public on Friday. So I've just been through this and I was like, it's like everywhere. Everybody says this stuff about like, oh, Mark Hamill hated The Last Jedi. Oh, Ryan Johnson was trying to undo what J.J. Abrams did. It's not true.
Yeah. It's a long video, Dane. It's like 2 hours long.
Oh, wow,
so, yeah.
No, but yeah. Mark Hamill himself has debunked that a few times. It's like he was making a talking point about how at first he wasn't sure about the movie, but how it really came together for him. That was his whole talking point.
And I think the original video you reacted to was only 35 minutes, but still, that's long. But
well, you had some of those pause screens are crazy.
Her sister might be the most boring person on the, and I know I'm one to talk, but how boring and long-winded, explaining the entire plot of Sullivan's Travels and then still getting it wrong.
Oh, right. Yeah. I noticed that when I went in, because I had never seen the movie, but I went back and like, after she mentioned it, I was like, I'm going to do some research on it because I couldn't do it while I was watching her video. And so I'm like, wait a minute, she didn't even understand the movie that she was watching.
Not
at
one
all.
Bit, no.
And so I'm like, wait a minute, because initially, like during the video, I open up a tab and I'm like reading through Wikipedia to see what the movie is about. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't really sound like the movie, totally the movie that she explained or whatever. After I was done, I went and did more research and I'm like, yeah, she's watching the movie through this weird lens that I don't know necessarily if she understands what she's watching. But yeah, Jester Bell's sister, this is the crazy thing. If anybody ever wondered if her sister is like alt-right cuckoo, and I mean that in the most cartoon way possible, so don't get offended, sorry. But if anybody ever wondered that, go and watch that video. Even if you don't watch mine, if you can sit through theirs, it is very telling because she is pushing white nationalist language in that video, but she's doing it subtly in some places, and it's very freaky. It's very freaky.
Ellie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian, pro-life, pro-freedom, here to abolish abortion.
Formerly worked for Ben Shapiro.
Pro-freedom wants to take away women's rights. All in one sentence.
Yeah, seems pretty.
It was so. There's even one point where Jester Bell tries to pivot a little bit from her sister's talking points, and she cut out an entire segment. And I don't know why. Her sister goes into like
banning mail-in voting. That's
yeah. Yeah, this is a good thing. So fuck our military people, I guess, that are overseas.
This is white nationalist shit.
Yeah,
that is just a white nationalist meme.
And she kept saying, this is my hot sister, just the average person, my hot sister, just a normie. No, your sister's a white nationalist.
Yep.
I mean, I call it out in the video. I say it a couple times. I'm like, these are white nationalist talking points.
Yeah, well, justifiably. I just think that's so the voting thing. We just scrolled past that, but that gets my goat because Republicans love that they get to include like prison populations in like district populations for like counting like votes and stuff like that, and like counting districts, or counting the population of a district. Sorry, I'm tripping over myself. I just took like a big swig of water and drowned. They love that they get to do that, but they don't want to let a lot of those people vote. And like, I just feel like if you don't get a vote, then you're not treated like a full citizen, you know?
No.
So I just feel like,
and mail-in voting is important to a lot of communities that aren't just black and brown people, which is what they try to like do, is they're trying to take it away from people of color, but it's also affecting elderly people, voters that would vote Republican do mail-in voting sometimes. Our military has to do mail-in voting if they're overseas. Like there's like doing away with that would be catastrophic to not just the system as a whole, but specifically people that vote conservative. A lot of military people that are conservative would lose their votes.
I mean, let's throw out there a wild scenario. Let's say there's something, I don't know, a global pandemic, that made it difficult to go out and
Right.
vote, and it'd be better to vote safely in your own home. Wouldn't it be nice to have mail-in voting for something like that?
Or like, let's suspend mail-in voting, and then Trump all of a sudden says people can't leave their houses in certain states.
Mm-hmm.
What happens then?
Oh my God.
California is under a state of emergency, so you're not allowed to leave federally. We're going to tell you you have a curfew. Oh, it just so happens to be the same day that voting is going on. Sorry about it. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I saw that person's comment.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare for women is a right. When you try to make it sensational by saying dumb shit like that, you don't understand the healthcare system and you don't care about women.
Well, it's also like it's so obviously gendered and about like sex and reproduction as well, because like conservatives love the whole like what is a woman thing, but their definition of a woman is basically somebody who's in the category that they decide is the one that's supposed to give birth.
Right.
So it's like it's very much about power and about forced birth and about all that stuff.
But even then, that doesn't take into account women who cannot give birth. Right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So are they no longer classified as women because they can't give birth? Like the argument doesn't stand. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's actually so I'm so glad you picked up on that, because the way that I phrased it, I know I just like zipped through it really fast. Sorry, I just like ran in here and sat down at my computer. But like this is something that like J.K. Rowling and like Matt Walsh and like a lot of those people do is the reason they don't care about the exception in that case is because it doesn't actually disprove anything, because their whole definition of a woman is that you're in the category where they have arbitrarily decided, because they're the center of the universe, because they're all narcissists, they have decided what your purpose is. It's a teleological argument.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to say what your purpose is, and you are now in the group that they have allotted whose purpose is reproduction. Some women are women, but they're failing their purpose per like a Matt Walsh guy. That's how he thinks. That's how people like that think. So like that whole line of reasoning, what that elides is the fact that like if you're a man and you die, your corpse has more bodily autonomy than some of these women in some of these situations, because they can't just harvest your organs, right? Without your consent. You need to be like an organ donor. Like if your heart would save somebody, that's a life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you through inaction, same as taking drugs and then not allowing like a fertilized egg to implant on the uterine wall, if you through largely inaction allow yourself to then not facilitate another life, you're not a murderer. That's your bodily autonomy. That's your right.
I mean, it's
But we
also an
understand
argument
that
about
when it's a man, but not a
right.
woman.
Or it's the same argument as if somebody is brain dead in the hospital is pulling the plug murder at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like on a personal one-to-one conversation, would you consider that not you, Chariot, but the person making that argument, would you consider that murder as well? So there's like these things, once you start looking at them that way and you roll back to like the definition of what a woman is or what a female is in terms of like, assigned at birth status or whatever, you look at those things, it becomes a situation where you have to ask yourself arguments about how we look at language, because that's really what it is. It's like, what does a word mean to you? And what does communication mean to you as a person? And is it more than just communication? Does it symbolize something that's deeper than that? You know what I mean? And a lot of times they don't even understand how to conceptualize that kind of a debate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I will say, to the chatter who says organ donation is great to do to save other lives. That's true. I am an organ donor. That is true. So I agree with that. I think that it's cool that people choose that.
I wanted to say in Wales they actually did pass the law, so it's the reverse. You have to opt out of organ donation, otherwise it's assumed.
Oh, that's actually better, I think. Honestly,
really?
I think so. And there was a lot of vocal arguments against, but not much came of it. But the arguments against seemed to revolve around not being in control of your body after you die, or not being in control of your loved one's body. And my attitude to that is, I don't care. I'm dead.
If you're dead, but part of you can save another human, I don't get the argument.
Just do not cremate me until you confirm that I am dead. Please don't put me in that cremation chamber until you know
I think
for
a
sure.
lot of people.
I'd rather that than be buried before they confirm I'm dead, to be honest, which is
I think a lot of
big
people
problem in the
assume
Victorian era.
that the alternative to being an organ donor is that everything like stays in your body and everything. But actually, when they're preparing your body for like viewing and stuff for like a funeral, they take it all out of there anyway.
Yeah,
that's actually why I became an organ donor, because I was
you're
like, well,
basically a
what's the
stuffed
fucking point?
animal. You're a stuffed animal at that point when you're being
Yeah.
you're being displayed like a deer head on the wall. I think that's essentially what it is.
When I was like, well, in that case, like if I'm gonna if they're gonna like take my organ, oh my god, a third cat.
Well, my cat just came in and used me for treats and then left. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Like,
no love.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Wonka also for finishing the goal in my stream. I do appreciate it for that 99-cent shout out. So that's a bonus stream for me on my channel next week. So we'll be doing a separate bonus stream over there. So thank you guys for that.
Nice.
Always appreciative with the economy the way it is. 99 cents for somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. The economy is terrible.
Yeah, I will say that Jezebel video, that's probably the toughest of yours that I've had to watch, just because of how dull Jezebel.
So apparently I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Grab a snack and do something else and just put it on in the background. It's definitely worth like giving it a go.
Because it starts at when she mentioned Sullivan's Travels, I knew immediately because I have seen the film. I do know the film, because a bit of trivia about it. The film that he wants to make in that film is called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Right.
And that's where the title for the Coen Brothers film comes from. But it's all about the Depression era America and how awful things were. And yes, he does come to the realization that people do need light entertainment as well as heavy dramatic stuff. But the whole point is him as a character is pretty shallow. He doesn't want to do the worthy film for the sake of its worthiness. But he wants to do it because he wants to be taken seriously. So it's such a layered film to boil down to people just want films for escapism, when the very film you're watching is a blend of high comedy and serious political commentary as well. It's crazy.
It's almost like media literacy is part of the grift. Almost.
Yeah. So Chris says, how do you manage to watch that Drek and not lose your voice from shouting at the rampant idiocy is beyond me, a testament to your patience, I guess. So let me explain like the shift and like how I was doing content on my channel, because a lot of people are like, you make a lot of stuff now. Like before it was like every other day. Now it's like every day I have stuff coming out. Usually what I do is I will sit at my desk to do something and I'm scrolling through YouTube and I'll see a video or somebody will suggest something and I turn on my camera as I'm watching it. I've thrown out a lot of videos that I've watched, like started recording and they're not, they end up never being anything. But the ones that are really good, like the ones that I feel I'm confident in, so like you'll see a video from me on like a Friday with something that I was wearing like Saturday of the previous week. It's because I have like a lot of backlogs of those videos. And so with the Jezebel ones, it's really interesting because I think that Jezebel, it's sort of like the Melanie Mack thing and some of the other chuds, like maybe the Backseater stuff or whatever, where we've reached a point where they're grifters who are grifting, but I think they're too stupid to understand what they're doing. Yeah. They don't know how to do it, so they're stumbling through it.
I think what's interesting about her as well, which is something you pointed out and I've noticed, everything is scripted.
Yes.
She's constantly looking at her script. And in that video, her and her sister were looking at it. And I think that's something that people don't realize. If you've got a script there in front of you, you will always refer to it. And even if you're not reading it like her sister was, I don't think her sister was to have her lines at a particular point, because if they scripted that, then they're either comedy geniuses or insane.
Yeah.
Because the things she was saying. But yeah, everything is scripted. So she tries to present it as this sort of off the cuff, just sort of stream of consciousness rant that she's having about. But it's all thought out and planned, and figured out and plan it, and for it to still be that terrible. I mean, at least Nerdrotic comes off as.
That's true. She's scripting out that crap. That's wild.
Hey, do you know anything about this? Did Vito and Dick split?
No, although Dick Split is a funny
I think it's like a type of body modification. You can do.
Yes, it is. Yeah. They had some sort of argument on stream. They had a big argument, and then they came back together. I don't know anything after that.
Well, what I'm seeing is, unless this is all like kind of kayfabe for Twitter's sake or something, it's like Ethan had on Dick to talk about which is worse, Super Killer or Isom.
So should I don't know if I should talk about this on stream or not. Hold on, let me think.
You got the insider info.
Well, there's just a personal thing that I think is referential here, and it kind of explains sort of what's happening in the situation in a big way. So let's put it this way. Do you guys remember back when Vito was having issues with Riley and Mint? Do you know who those people are?
Yes.
Okay. That was happening behind the scenes for probably a couple of months before it became public, and then it kind of spiraled and went out of control. And at that time, I personally reached out to Vito, not because I was picking sides, but Vito seemed like he was the one guy, like it was the world against him. And so I felt kind of bad for him because I'm like, I just wanted to make sure he was okay, because I've had friends that have done things they regret because they're getting dogpiled by people. So I just wanted to check and just see if he was okay.
In my opinion.
What was that?
He kind of puts himself in that position regularly.
Absolutely. 100%. But I'm an empathetic person. I care about people. And so I wanted to reach out and see. So I talked to Vito, and I'm not going to reveal like the details of the conversation, but I did reach out to him, and I was like, hey, if you ever need to talk to somebody, I'm here, I'm available, kind of thing. I just wanted to make sure that he knew that at the time. And there was a little conversation about him, coming on and talking about things on the show and things like sort of trying to, I don't know, reach some sort of like agreement on some topics and stuff like that. It was just very quickly like, I think you're a great guy, blah, 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 back and forth stuff. And I thought that there was going to be a follow-up on that, because I'm like, okay, I've offered an opportunity to be here for him. And, I thought that possibly this was, what word am I looking for?
Right?
Like, I don't know. Like, we've talked about how Vito has some really fucked up stuff he said in the past.
Can I just say that, like, I had this exact same situation with him.
Okay.
I had the exact same conversation back shortly after I think me and Bob had our conversation with him, where I'm more willing to express stuff that was said, not exactly details, I guess, but like generally he was saying that he's not been happy in the spaces that he's in for a long time.
Yeah, okay, we'll say that's a similar circumstance or whatever.
And I even told him, I was like, look, man, if you're sincere about that, I'm willing to kind of, if you've been you keep showing that you're against a lot of this stuff, and but the problem was he was still saying transphobic shit.
Okay. So we're gonna reach the same place with all this, I think. But I do want to like go a little bit further.
Follow up on that from his
right.
parts.
So the Riley and Mintz thing, I like Riley and Mint. I've had nothing but good interactions with them. I think they're totally fun. They do a lot of kayfabe stuff online, and I appreciate that. They've obviously made Eric July mad, so that's good. But but anyway, so I wasn't like necessarily picking sides, but I thought that I was extending like a sort of like, hey, look, here's an olive branch, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing. And then I followed up I think it was like a month or two later, just to see if everything was good, because I saw them still arguing. And I was like, are you okay? I haven't heard anything. But yeah, I'm good. Okay. Like nothing mean or whatever. And then nothing. No interactions. No, nothing whatsoever. And then like still more anti-gay stuff, anti-trans stuff on Twitter. I'd reply to it. He would reply back. And I felt like a lot of it was in bad faith. And so we went back and forth on that. And I just got the impression that like nothing that happens with Vito is real.
Right. Yeah,
right.
I mean, I agree, man. That's what I came to.
It's kind of the vibe I've getting. Yeah.
I think he's honestly kind of spineless. I think that he really genuinely does. He doesn't like bigotry in general, except for when it comes to trans people and stuff like that, it seems like. But like, he doesn't like racism and shit. He does. I think he is sincere whenever he's like, I'm all for comedy, no matter basically what it is.
Yeah.
If it's a joke, it's a joke kind of thing. I get that as a perspective. I think it's an irresponsible perspective.
100%.
But still, I don't think that he's genuinely hateful, except for
But to sort of roll this all back together, I don't believe anything that's happening with him on any show is real. I don't think any of it's real, right? And it could be, but the problem is there's this old tale about the sky is falling, right? Where someone will say something over and over and over again, and when it does actually really happen, I guess no one's going to believe it. You know what I mean?
Sky falling, either one of those.
Yeah. So essentially, if there is anything going on with him and it's bothering him and he's personally affected by it, I don't care anymore because I tried to be someone for him to talk to, 100%. And this was like last year, right? So nothing's really happened since then or whatever. But he still streams with Dick. They have a show together and they banter back and forth. And yes, Vito's not at Dick's house anymore, but they still do their weekly show. I don't think they're friends. I don't think they're friends. I know that. Like, I think there's no friendship there between the two of them. But I think that they both know that all of this is what makes their show work.
Right.
So that's why they do it.
Involved too. Like, these are all people that definitely understand that conflict breeds their income.
So think of it as like, I think of it as kayfabe. I think of it as like wrestling shit. Like, it's just people performing. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. It's not my thing. I think Dick Masterson in moments can be very funny, but Dick Masterson's also like kind of a conservative garbage person. You know what I mean? So like,
if you haven't looked up the history of him and that one guy, it's fucking bonkers. And I know that there's a lot of back and forth about who's really the crazy one that fucked over who or whatever, him or that I forget his name. I'm
brain farting on it too.
But like, man, I've seen plenty of stuff that indicates that there's at least some truth to the veto. Not the veto, to the stuff that Dick has done to the other guy. Yeah, and it's pretty fucked up. Essentially, that biggest problem show was a show that was kind of co-opted and taken from the other guy. It's really fucked.
Yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much my take on the whole veto thing.
Maddox.
It is what it is. Yeah, Maddox. That's it.
The name was driving me insane. Yeah.
Somebody asked about Blair White. Did you guys hear about Blair White moving?
I haven't heard anything about Blair White.
She left Texas to go to California after like all the shit she's talked about California people and stuff. She left Texas to go to California, and I don't think that I'm trying to look it up here. The reasons why. So it says that she's leaving Texas and returning to California. She moved to Austin in 2021. She returned. She has already returned to Los Angeles. She wants to contribute to solving California's problems. However, people are saying that these are the current anti-trans laws or things that are going to become laws in Texas very soon. There's the trans bathroom restriction, biological sex definition, banning DEI, LGBTQ, medical records restrictions for trans people, mandated detransition coverage, reaffirmation, not abuse, which specifies that parents who don't affirm their child's gender identity or orientation are not considered abusive or neglectful, gender affirming care bans, felony for gender identity fraud, which has got jail time. This is introduced in 2025. It didn't pass, but it'll probably come back again. So basically what she's doing, she's not being honest about why she left Texas. Clearly, as a trans person, it is dangerous to live in that kind of a place. And you should move out of that place. But the grifter in her is not being honest about why she's moving. That's the thing.
She contributed to that being the way things are going in certain
right.
states.
This is the world you wanted, Blair. This is what you've done. You know what I mean? Like, it just is. So I feel so bad for her. I'm so concerned about what's going to happen with her on an individual level. What was that, Dane?
My violin's around here somewhere.
I know. I'm so worried about what's going to happen to her on an individual level as a shit person. I'm so worried.
My issue with the violins is that they're so tiny, I have trouble finding them. So
yeah.
I mean, look, I don't want anything bad to happen to her, because of the fact that she's trans or whatever. But I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Period. But like, I don't care when it comes to the general issues that trans people are facing.
I want to reaffirm that the joke is that if she ends up getting stuck with a bunch of people that don't like her, that's kind of her own thing, right?
Yes.
Like that's my joke. Like, I honestly do believe that any trans person that lives in an area, or queer person for that matter, anybody, I guess, marginalized, if you live somewhere where you do not feel safe, you should leave and go somewhere else where the state is going to help you out. Luckily, my state isn't a complete shithole right now, but there's a lot of states like Texas that are becoming shitholes for people, and you should move out of those places. Because the one thing you will have is some sort of state protection if it's not federally protected, and that's important.
They're moving to, and have moved already, I believe, to make it so that if you are not a conservative, you're not going to vote Republican, then you just don't matter.
Right.
And even if you do vote Republican, it doesn't matter because Republicans are going to win. So if you're living in Texas and you have the idea that oh, I'm going to be part of the purple wave or make it a blue wave or whatever. It doesn't seem like they're going to let that happen.
Unless you move to another district. That's the only way that'll happen.
Yeah, essentially. But you'd have to strategically move along with a lot of other people.
Yeah. It's fucking hot too. Yeah.
So fucking hot. I was there in May, man. Holy shit. It was
fun. Gavin Newsom poaches another MAGA girl from Trump. Well, the thing is, she's moving to a place where her vote will probably not matter. She's moving to a state where they're doing the opposite of Texas. So there we go. But
Which
I'm
is what
all
she
for,
wants, by the way. Like,
right. I am all for fighting fire with fire. At this point, there are no fucks given. I'm a match energy kind of person. So we have tried, like the people that are more progressive have tried to work with the folks that are doing this, but they don't care because it's not a ethical or moral thing for them. It is, there's something else happening. It's money and it's power. And you cannot actually there's no concession with people that believe that.
Sean, I would recommend you don't go near Vider at all, please. Just fucking stay away from Vider, for fuck's sake. Vider, that's if you know Texas, you know that area, then you know what that's about. But holy shit,
I'm not familiar. I'll just go with whatever you say.
It's very close to where I grew up. It's very close to where Sean is from as well, I believe. And it is just known to be the racist town. Like that literally is
that a sundown town? Is that one of those?
Still a sundown town, yes, implicitly, not explicitly.
Okay.
Implicitly, yeah, you don't want to be there if you're not white after dark. There was in I think it was late 90s, there was, I believe the man's name was James Byrd Jr. He was dragged behind a truck by a chain until his limbs came off and he died. And he was black. So yeah, that was a big thing whenever I was in high school, I remember.
Chris, speaking of Gavin Newsom, I think it's pretty obvious that he is going to be vying for the Democratic ticket in 2028. And I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff that he's said and done, especially with his podcast and everything.
I know. But
I think the issue we have here is that he's not a net harm to marginalized communities. He may not be a benefit. And this is what we always have to concede on because of our fucking system. The fucking system we exist in. But right now, even more so than when the last election we just had, could be this could be the beginning of fixing some of the issues we have.
Sure.
Because we have to get these radical people out of the government. They have to be out of the government.
So,
to give credit where it's due, goddamn, the way he's been trolling Trump has been fucking brilliant recently.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like him,
libertarian candidate will never win an election. We'll never have a libertarian.
There
president,
cannot be. I mean, it's just the way it is. The two-party system is firmly entrenched, and I mean, the best.
Like Jill Stein will never win. Like those people will never win.
Yeah,
she knows that. She fucking knows that. She just fucking grifting ass.
She's also a Russian agent. Just saying.
Gavin sucks. Like if you want to say Gavin sucks, it's fine. I don't disagree, but also consider the scale on which you are measuring suckiness right now, and just kind of keep in mind practical situation. Like I hope genuinely fucking hope and will support a candidate who is more just generally all around better and further left that comes up and says they're gonna go for the nomination. I will fucking push that candidate until they're no longer viable or whatever. But when it comes down to it, if we had to vote tomorrow, I fucking would vote for Gavin Newsom. Just to kind of get us back to a somewhat neutral position.
Look, Gavin Newsom is a step to fixing the issue that we have. We're not going to get, the pendulum is not going to swing so far to the left that we're going to get it that way in 2028. We have to get back in there. And the truth is, if you guys are like in the United States, it starts at the state level.
Yeah.
Your state elections, who you're putting in the House, who you're putting in the Senate.
I mean, the thing to keep in mind is that
I say culturally, we need people fucking doing what the Chuds have been doing and getting into your school boards and shit, because that's what they've been doing to fucking culturally spread a lot of this garbage about trans panic and shit like that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
I mean, I was just gonna say a candidate like Bernie Sanders, who I love and I think most people love, he is only viable after 8 years of Obama. Like it's going to be impossible to get somebody that. I would love to get somebody that far left who has similar positions as him in a position of power, but it's not realistic, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong.
I want to disagree with some of the stuff that I'm hearing right here, because the big thing, first of all, the big thing Sanders was a response to, if anything, was the what do they call it? I'm drawing a blank, but you know what was happening in like 2011, like 2010, 2011, 2012, roundabouts. Well, Occupy Wall Street, that like big like thing that happened in like term 2 Obama. Because like if anything, Obama was a response to Bush, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like I think I think I have like a kind of a different point of view on that. But like also like Bernie didn't win, and I think the thing about Newsom is like Harris loses. Trump is getting into office, and the very first thing that like the two biggest piece of shit sharks of the Democratic Party, Pete Buttigieg and Gavin Newsom, do is they go on podcast tours where they start talking shit about trans people. And for me personally, I'm gonna censor myself a little bit. I'd almost got real spicy. I would rather die than like in the big 2025 say, oh, I'd vote for Gavin Newsom personally, because that dude just fucking spit on my fucking community and then was like, but you got to vote for me. And it's like, yeah, man, in 2028, we'll see. But like right now, fuck you. Like that's crazy.
I wasn't aware that they had done that, and I'm not aware of what
he
they
did
said
it with
about
Charlie Kirk and like
They that's what I was saying. They've
I
said stuff
really
like that.
don't like Gavin Newsom. I really
Okay.
don't.
It's not about you guys, by the way. I'm not. This is not me like trying to take shots at you guys, but I got a lot of hate in my heart. I'm like,
Well, I mean,
like
I
that they had with Moby Dick for hate.
I can have as much hate as I possibly can for anybody, and it's just I have to still kind of like try to think outside of that about the harms that are being done right now and will continue to be done if something isn't done to I mean I'm talking about like I firmly believe that they're really not going to try to leave power. For one thing, it's pretty obvious they don't want to. The Trump, I mean, you don't build a fucking big dining hall the way that Trump is doing and then fucking leave. But
unfortunately in the two-party system, you have no option other than to like 99% of the time vote for someone you hate over someone you hate more. And I think regardless of your issues with, if you're to the left of the Democrats, which I think most of us are, and a lot of people are, unfortunately you still have to vote Democrat because that is the two-party system. And you might disagree with everything the candidate is standing for, but it's still better than the alternative. And unfortunately, democracy is not a one-time thing. It's constantly pushing back against it. And the only way to beat the Conservatives is to vote them into obscurity by getting as many people on the left, as far left as you can, to understand that if you make the Democrats so much more powerful than the Conservatives, then they essentially replace the Conservatives on the right. And if where the Democrats are now, if that's your right-wing party, then you can have a left-wing party. You've really got to completely obliterate the Conservatives, because that's what they're doing. They're doing that every day, and they've been doing that. They've had this project to do that for the last 30 years, even longer, in fact, going back as far as Nixon. They've been planning how to chip away at the left piece by piece, and they're still doing it. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to eliminate the Democrats, the left wing. And so your choice is conservative or more conservative.
Where my position is that like I don't believe that we are going to have. I mean, we already have a fucking corrupt democracy. I understand that. I'm not it's not imperfect or never has been, but we will have no similar. It'll be just Russia, what Russia has essentially. If we don't do something, I believe that's where we're at. And essentially at that point, I don't know. I guess Newsom throwing trans people under the bus is shitty, but
No, I mean,
my big thing though is like, this is what they do, right? This is why the reactionary Democrats are in the position that they're in, is because they get to try to walk that old fossil Joe Biden out on stage as if that was going to happen, and then fumble around for a while and go, I guess it's Harris, and then run Harris, and then tamper that down as well, where Walz was giving the Republicans hell, and they were like, we don't want that rhetoric. And they pull him back too. And then the second they lose, immediately they're like, well, we got to blame the left and we got to blame minorities. And for me personally, like, I think it's important to be aware that you're going to have to vote for some pieces of shit to avoid some apocalypses.
I agree.
That
you need to
keeping that in mind.
Hold your nose for whenever you fucking make the practical choice. I think.
Right. Exactly. And what I'll also say is I think there's a chatter in here that said something, and I got to scroll up, but Just Vance said, Mamdani showing us we don't need the DNC centrist shills for nothing. What was so interesting about the ongoing New York race is that when their Democratic primary concluded, it was a huge refutation of the idea that like people should be talking about the more established candidate who they think has the better chance of beating the Republican candidate ahead of time. Because if Cuomo had won, I think we'd be having that conversation over there in New York. I think people would be saying, look, this is a bad dude, but look what the right is fielding. I think that would be the tenor of the conversation. I think it's a concession to do that before the primary has even started. Before the primary has ended, you know?
I mean, once the primary kicks in, I mean, I in an ideal world, it would be someone like AOC with Bernie as the VP in I think personally where we are now. But Newsom, if he continues, and there's no guarantee that he will continue to ride this wave for the next 3 years,
right,
of popularity, he's got to maintain it. But given the choice between those two, let's say, the two extremes of the Democrat Party, it would be AOC every time.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a lot of people against that, and so that's going to come down to.
Well, you don't even have to go there. You don't even have to go to that because you can go to Pritzker. Pritzker's my governor, you know.
Right. It seems like we're going to have a pretty full primary based on the people that kind of look like they're aiming that direction of running. That's what I'm looking forward to is a pretty diverse primary of people to look at and hear to argue the positions. That's what sucks is the DNC doesn't want to let it seems like they don't like to have people fucking debating positions and policies and stuff on the in the party, which is like, get the fuck out of here. But we need that, man.
Because the thing about Mamdani in New York as well is that's local elections, and that's where people also really need to get involved because
primaries too.
People really discount local elections.
So about the look, man, I didn't want to get into this because it's still we don't even have all the fucking. We need to see the contracts ourselves. But the fact is, there seems to be some of Taylor's reporting that is not founded in what some of the people that actually were familiar with the situation. And me personally, having been watching one of the creators that's involved with this, anybody saying that they literally weren't allowed to say this or whatever, I know that's factually incorrect because I just know it is.
Are we talking about the funding for like David Pakman and that? Okay.
I think the whole situation was very badly handled in terms of transparency.
Right. The transparency thing is the issue. You fucking that you don't fucking accept money without being able to disclose or being willing to disclose where you're fucking getting your money from. That's not.
Is it true that David Pakman is going to get legal with this? Like he's actually going to
essentially. Like, I mean, because there's the idea that he hasn't talked about Gaza, hasn't called it a genocide, that he doesn't talk about trans issues, which stuff I've seen people saying he does. He literally does on a regular basis. He criticizes Democrats in fucking nearly any video where he talks about Democrats.
It was him. It was Brian Taylor.
Brian Tyler Cohen is a fucking DNC fucking, I mean, like he's straight up just walks the line that like, I don't watch that guy for that reason, but it's like,
honestly, most of the stuff that I get is through like, what is it? Sam Cedar in that.
I was about ready to say,
yo, Majority Report's very real. That's very.
Yeah.
Real.
I don't watch news a whole lot, but I do occasionally watch Sam Cedar.
Yeah, Sam Cedar, because they're not getting the same kind of funding that everybody else is, and they've been very open about it.
You can tell, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would agree with this though. I don't think they're the same. I think this was a unfortunate situation that they put themselves in, especially if you're being critical of, like, you know, Tim Pool and Benny Johnson and all those folks, to just be in that situation yourself. I think that's unfortunate. But I don't know. I guess we will get the full truth if this ends up going to court, because all of it will come out then if that happens. If he actually takes them to court, then he knows there's going to be discovery. He knows this stuff will come out. So
if you're coming in here with your fucking, you know, just like, I'm here to fucking shit on, like, because that's the thing that pisses me off about it. Where there is definitely real shit to criticize about this situation, a lot of it is seems to be just the typical fucking, I'm anti-democrat more than at least vocally more anti-democrat than I am the fucking fascists. That type of online leftist using it as fucking, you know, ammo for their fucking, you know, bullshit. And that's the shit that pisses me off. Because
one of the things, Dane, that I've had conversations about is the tough situation we have right now, and we see this with what's going on with the Epstein files and everything, is Republicans have learned that they don't have to worry about what other people are saying. They're just going to do what they want to do as a party, and they don't care if it's ethically or morally wrong. And there's no way to fight that without somehow getting in the mud yourself. It's just impossible.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what the answer is. I'm not trying to justify things that people are doing. We look at what Gavin Newsom is doing. We look at, like, the funding of some of these outlets or whatever. How do we survive as a group when we're fighting against a group of people that have no shame, no morals, and no ethics? How do we do that without sort of fighting fire with fire a little bit?
I mean, you know, funding is an organization amongst left, or even just, you know, kind of progressive leaning media is something that just needs to happen. That's the world we live in, and the same way that, you know, it's not fucking good, man. But, like, for instance, like the they keep calling it dark money, right?
Right.
The organization that I forget the name of it, that is primarily, there's a lot of it's like independent donors that the money comes from, but there's also an organization there that one of the things that they donate to and spend their, you know, donations on is campaigning against money in politics, campaigning against having Citizens United overturned. So it's like, you have to fucking dig a little bit deeper and kind of look at all the details here to understand what's really happening. And the people that don't want to do that are just going, oh, they're fucking, you know, Zionists and shit. And it's like, okay, you know, whatever.
I think what the meaning really of, like, dark money is, it's not that the money is somehow from an evil place, it's that the money is hidden. It's
right.
There,
well, I mean, I know what, you know, I know what dark money is. I've read the book by Jane Mayer.
No, I know. I just for the audience, the big issue here is that if you are a journalist and you take money from anybody, then even if it doesn't affect your editorial, it does, because it's the appearance of impropriety. This is why anybody that works in the civil service is not allowed to accept a gift from anybody, or is not supposed to be.
Right.
Higher up, funnily enough, if you are a bottom of the tier, if you're a paper pusher, then you cannot accept a gift.
Nothing. You can't accept anything. Like even a watch or anything. You can't accept anything.
No.
Tickets to a concert, nothing. You can't accept anything.
No, I mean literally any gift over like probably $10 or £5 in the UK, you cannot accept. So you couldn't even accept like a box of chocolates from someone. But if you're at the very top, you could probably get away with it.
Right.
But the problem here is that if you accept money, even if, from my understanding, a lot of the money they were accepting was to take on these sort of mentor roles for other creators. If you're taking money from this particular group to do that, you have to be able to declare it, because otherwise it looks like you're getting the money for doing something else.
Yeah.
So if somebody,
I just gotta fucking be, you know, suspect of people I've literally never seen just showing up to fucking.
I see that. Yeah, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. I'm like, okay, how does that happen? The minute we start talking about it, they just pop up out of nowhere. That's a little sus.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show there's actors all over these platforms that are just waiting for they've got their line, whether I agree with it or
activated.
not. Yep.
Bam, they get activated. Yeah.
It's almost like they're bots. Almost.
Oh, so he's admitting it's a sock account.
Okay, so you're using sock accounts. You're definitely So I do have I mean, if we want to get into this,
well, actually, I have to go because I have to work, so I have to get out of here. But I don't know if we missed any topics that I was going to talk about, but I do have to bounce. So,
well, I mean, if you want to say something before we go for it.
Oh, no, I mean, just like I don't want to take if you're going to show something. I guess I'll take.
No,
something
I don't love the idea of just going further into this fucking shithole right now.
Yeah, no. I do appreciate it.
Full details, so
I set a small goal on my channel just to see if anybody would donate. You guys did. We hit our goal. So it's a bonus stream on my channel. Next week, not this week, but next week. So I do appreciate it. Yeah, I saw Bob's comment here. This is really good. And I did put up a video about yellow piss today, so if you want to go check that out on my channel, you can.
I haven't seen that yet. I gotta go see that.
I think I'm going to start a new series where these chuds have reached their final form, like a RIP video to their channels, because there's so many channels that are just literally like zombie channels at this point, and I think Yellow Flash is one of those channels where people really don't care about it, which is why his comic book flopped. So anyway, go over and check out that video today. I have a 2-hour Jester Bell video from yesterday, and I have another hour and some change video tomorrow. So plenty of content coming up on the channel. And I have a stream tomorrow night, and I had my stream last night. So there we go. A lot of stuff happening on my channel. But stay and support these guys. Play nice. You'll get timed out. We got a lot of mods in here. So fuck around, find out in the chat. And don't make me have to remove you from being able to comment on videos because you guys are being shitheads. So anyway. All right. Thanks, guys. See everyone later.
See ya. Later, Eric.
Yeah.
That is very busy man.
Where I'm at, man, is that it's getting to be a pretty, it has been for a while at least. It's been a pretty dirty fight that's been going on politically. And essentially it's going to continue being that way because that's the world that is the corporate algorithms essentially and right-wing fucking ghouls have pushed us into, and then also feckless fucking Democrats as well. So it's going to be nasty. There's going to be some stuff that has to happen, I suppose, that some of us aren't going to agree with. I think at the end of the day, my mind always goes to, I want to still have a world that we can fight in, or a country rather, I guess, that we can still actually have a fight and a shot at fighting for some semblance of the ability to be free and be ourselves and to not become full on authoritarian. We're not there yet, but it's pretty clear that that's the goal to get there. And now Trump's talking about sending feds into Chicago and New Orleans. I saw something about that now. It's like, okay, yeah, that's where we're going. I've been, sounding alarms on this shit since he was fucking sworn in the first time, and people fucking shouted me down that I was being alarmist. Yeah, so
yeah, that's I'm glad you said that actually, because that really the way that people have tried to minimize the threat, I think is that's really that to me, thinking about that, fuck man, it was really this big long con full of people who were telling you that it wasn't going to happen. And so many of us have said time and time again that shit was that it was inevitable, that he was always going to do this. The man's a tyrant, and I just don't understand. I'm not going to say I don't understand. I sadly, I feel like I understand perfectly well, but it just bothers me. I feel like talking politics is like asking to get lied to, you log on and you go, here's something really important that's happening in my country. And then literally everybody who comes up to you is the second you criticize a right winger, they just fucking lie to you. It's just lie. And it's obvious lies. And when you look back on it, the Project 2025 thing, Remember when everybody was like, "Oh, that's not Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025."
I remember when
Oh,
Tabernacle
God,
made
that
a
was
fucking video about
infuriating.
it, and that's the kind of fucking leftist that I get fucking really, cautious about. Tabernacle types, right? That are like, oh yeah, that Project 2025 thing is pretty fucking bad, but Biden, blah 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 blah, is just as bad. Like he literally has a video.
It's just Biden. It's just blue MAGA, guys. It's like
Blue
it's
MAGA,
not the same thing,
right?
guys.
And that's the kind of shit that I get real fucking defensive against, just because I think that it plays a role, and I don't know if it's intentional on his part or the people that do it, but it definitely has an effect on, at least distracting people from what the real threat is. And I mean, not to say that, I mean, yes, the policies that Biden, was overseeing that were already in place, and then probably ones that he put into place definitely are a problem too. I'm not saying they're not, but you have to prioritize. And I'd rather, the most simple way to say it is I'd rather fucking fight a goddamn liberal than a fascist. It's just because a long enough timeline, fascist is gonna make it so you can't fight anymore.
Yep.
Anyway.
And that's the thing. You can complain as much as you want, and I would encourage people to complain about the left wing of the two parties. Complain about the Democrats all day long. You can complain about them not doing enough, doing too much in some areas. Complain all you want, but when it comes to the general election, the national election, when you're electing a president, you have to hold your nose and pick the least worst, because the least worst is not going to do everything that Trump's done in just 9 months.
I mean, I will say every presidential election I've done so far, which is getting to be quite a few. I'm not young, but every single one has been lesser of two evils.
Yep.
Well, the Biden admin as well was like almost kind of in some ways like a fluke, because like the man really does have like dementia or Alzheimer's, like that. So
it was clearly
like,
getting worse. Yeah.
the extent to which we were really complaining about like the coherent decisions of somebody who was like a political actor with an ideology is very limited, because really it was just he was just not there, And so like it's almost not even really comparing like a liberal president to a conservative president. It's like comparing an absent president to a fascist president.
No, I have to push back on that, because here's what my position was on that is that, yeah, clearly Biden was not doing so well, and he was getting worse, right? I still would have voted for him over Trump because of the fact that Biden clearly had people around him that at least believed in, maintaining a whatever status quo, that, good and bad. There's what I mean? Whereas Trump, his mind has been going since his first term, and probably longer than that. He's just better at hiding it because he says crazy shit all the time. So it's like, whatever, it's just Trump being Trump. He gets away with it. The fucking media gives him a pass. At the same time, around him are people who definitely are fucking craven, opportunist fucking vultures that are just, vying for power and look at fucking JD Vance. You know what I mean? Like, if you know what he's into and the kind of shit that he's trying to achieve, as far as like being a bitch for Peter Thiel and fucking what's his name, that one guy, I forget his name right now, but they want essentially corporate monarchy. I still think that would have been the wiser decision in that case. But
well, I'm not saying
I love either one, or that I love.
I'm not saying I would have voted for Donald Trump. I'm just saying, like, as far as the comparison goes, the Biden comparisons are almost not instructive, because it's like comparing an absence of a decision to a decision. You know what I mean? Like, if he was doing that shit because it was like a part of some sort of political agenda or plan, and I felt like I was assured that I could determine that,
yeah,
then maybe I'd be thinking like, oh, okay, well, here's the Democrat plan versus the Republican plan. Yeah. But I mean, what it actually was like kind of comparing like a bombing of a city to like a train wreck or something. Like one of them is like an act and the other one's an accident. So it's just tough. Like it's hard for it to be like instructive to anything, except that the Republican Party is psychotic.
Somebody said that the Biden's time in office is okay until October 7th. I mean, there was good and bad about it, sure, but like, I would say that there's after October 7th, was it 2023? yeah, we were funding Israel, have been for a long time, and contributing to a genocide in Gaza. We still are. And that didn't change by the other guy getting elected. So I don't understand where any of these leftists that were constantly screaming about Gaza before the election, where are they at right now? What are they saying? I don't know. But it's actually probably gotten worse, since then. I'm not sure. But and then also we're doing a genocide against, kind of just brown people in the country. You know what I mean? We're getting rid of the anti-immigrant policies. ICE just getting a fucking surge of funding. Was it $800 billion or something like that? Something ridiculous. Yeah, it's not good for a lot of other people as well.
And it's a hard thing to say. It's a hard thing to swallow. But let's say Harris had won and had done exactly the same thing as regards to Israel that Trump has done. That would have been bad, but she wouldn't have done all the other shit that he did, which is worse. So,
yep.
And if Israel, Palestine, if Gaza is your single issue, then yeah, that's going to hit you hard. But at least that
to call what ICE is doing. I mean, if you.
I mean, Laura Loomer almost practically came out and said that the goal of what ICE is doing is ethnic cleansing, because she directly insinuated that like the presence of Latinos in America is the problem, and that's what they want to target with deportation.
Okay. Well, how about the genocide against trans people?
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of what I was saying about like the Biden and like the election is like it isn't just in a similar way. Like the issues in Israel and Palestine chatters are bringing that up, and I really appreciate that, because as I've expressed, now is the time, right? Like in politics, with electoral politics in America, every window is not the same window of opportunity for every issue, right? Now is a great time to be pushing back on centrist and establishment Democrats.
Sure.
But that time's not going to last forever. So what Dane and Ryan and what some of these guys are talking about is a different window of opportunity. In that other window, Israel and Palestine are not really going to be an instructive comparison, because if the comparison, and this is hypothetical, we don't know how much things are going to move between then and now. I remember arguing with liberals when I was like, in college. This would have been like 10 or 12 years ago. And like I was a freshman or something in college, and I was arguing with people about Israel, and nobody understood this issue. And most of the liberals that I knew were not super pro-Palestine, but that has changed. And I think, it can change again, and it can change further. But the thing about like talking about Israel and Palestine in the context of American national elections is that Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing.
Yep.
So you're choosing between ethnic cleansing and ethnic cleansing. It's not an instructive comparison, right? What's instructive about it is using this political moment to push things to the left, and to try to also just raise consciousness about this issue, get people to understand, that's where I think that energy should be. I just feel like to jump into this chat right now and to say, well, this is ethnic cleansing. Yes, on the issue of trying to push corporate Democrats out of office in primaries, yes, that's relevant. But if you're replacing them with Republicans, what the fuck is your fucking goal?
Right.
At that
point,
these are two different conversations.
Motives, right.
If I can just address what Carl, the last comment he made, what ICE is doing is one thing. Yeah, there is a big difference in scale. What is happening in Gaza is it's extreme. It's a genocide. But it didn't start as a genocide. They didn't start doing a genocide after October 7th. They've been doing it since the 40s or since the 50s. This has been a slow process. And so what ICE is doing now is not a genocide, but it's the start of one.
You have to be able to spot it much sooner than that. Also, all genocides don't just look the same. You know what I mean?
Because let's say they deport all the Latin Americans back to Latin America, if you like. Let's say they get rid of them all, all the ones who are here illegally, all the ones who are not born in America. What happens then? Who do they go after then? The ones born here? That's the plan. They've stated that they want to be able to go after people born in America, so they get rid of all of Latin Americans. And then what? Who do they go after then? Black people? Jews? Other races? Religions? Nationalities?
Okay, so
when do they stop?
Trying to find the. Okay,
Did
so
somebody
genocide
just get banned there? I
systematic.
didn't think that person was really offending too much.
Who, this comedian person?
Yeah, maybe I
Yeah,
didn't
that
see
guy's
something
fucking,
they
I
said
mean, we have
earlier.
personal problems. I don't want him around here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Genocide is a systematic, intentional attempt to destroy a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, either by killing, causing serious physical or mental harm, preventing births, forcibly transferring children, or creating conditions for a group's destruction. So, you know, while no, they're not going to get rid of all the Latin American people in the world. When it comes to in this country, that is the goal. That on a long enough timeline, that is what would happen. We've already got American citizens who just happen to be brown getting stopped, held in detention centers for X amount of time, and then some of them have been fucking deported to a third world country in a prison that they probably won't ever be able to come back. They're probably just gone, because that's just what they're doing. At that point, it becomes pretty telling, and you'd be naive to think that they're just gonna go, okay, we've hit, you know what, we've done enough. I think we've gotten rid of enough of them. We're just gonna stop now. Then you don't understand fascism. You don't understand what fascism is, right?
Let's be quite clear here. Stephen Miller's goal is to get rid of all of them.
Stephen Miller, yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely a fucking white nationalist. I don't even know that he would deny that if you said it to him at this point. Really, like he's fucking what a piece of shit.
And he's the one leading this. He's the one who's making these decisions about who to get rid of. So they might not be killing them yet, but who knows? What if someone fights back? What laws will be brought in then? They're already bringing in the National Guard, trying to provoke. What are they going to do if one person fights back, physical violence, defends themselves?
Here's the people that I really am growing. I have been growing for really since before the election. I've been growing way more concerned about, kind of privately. I've said it a couple times, but this accelerationists, I think, just in general, there's far more of them than I think a lot of us realize, and it's concerning. They're people that claim to be, this or that on the right or the left, and they're really just looking to, see it all burn. So
I don't really know. I mean, like, as far as accelerationism is concerned, the thing that you're kind of describing there is like really more like almost like a MAGA style, like kind of death cult kind of tendency, like how school shooters think, where they're like, there's no point in life anymore, so we can only like kill and be killed. So I think that maybe that's kind of
what's the other kind of acceleration?
Some people.
The other kind of acceleration I was thinking of is they want to give the right everything that they want to show people how bad it is. And basically, you put Hitler in, you say, look, it's Hitler. Now we've got to go and World War II him. And then after that, you get... So the idea is, if you show capitalism at its very worst, people will be so fed up with it, they'll pick communism. Basically,
I just don't think that's almost more delusional than
it's not realistic at all.
I think that comes from, there was like a Zizek interview that really spread that tendency that like maybe he said something that was like, maybe if this happens, then a bunch of Americans will be persuaded of something else. And I think that we've seen that that's not really necessarily true.
I'm really suspect of you that like you can't make this claim period and have any kind of confidence in it. You're just that's
well, the thing that I was going to say is like I've talked to like accelerationists before, and that movement and that ideology is a lot more like specific and esoteric. Accelerationist as a pejorative just means like somebody who's not really valuing their priors, it seems like. Whereas like accelerationist ideology, like if we want, we can talk about like Nick Land. I don't like the guy, but I also kind of think that like I don't want to use terms like that if we're not kind of dealing in what the priors of the people in those movements are, because
well, you could also say though that an accelerationist is just somebody who sort of puts their hands up and says, well, let them get on with it, I don't care anymore. You sort
well,
of
I mean, suicide's not really a tactic, right? Like accelerate,
right.
that's not really an ideology.
No, I'm not talking about suicide. I'm talking about people who literally were just like, well, I'm not going to bother complaining anymore. I'm just going to let the right get on with it, and then
right.
let
But
the
this
cards fall
is
as they
kind of
may.
what I was describing with the school shooter comparison. Is it's like it seems like a lot of times when people say accelerationist, what they mean is like people who are kind of like divesting themselves from the idea of like political struggle as a concept. Just kind of.
I mean, I tend to see it as anybody who has not just. I mean, yes, there's the school shooter types. I talked about them on Friday whenever we covered the Order of Nine Angles and 764 and all that shit that seems to be somewhat related to the Robin Westman, Minnesota thing. That's definitely a brand of it. That's like the mentally unwell, on terminally online, black-pilled version of acceleration. Sure, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that legitimately, like more like what you described as Zizek had said, I guess that's to some degree where that came from. Which I thought he was a little bit wiser than that. Because I feel like
he says all kinds of. I mean, I think people took that and kind of ran with it. Zizek says all sorts.
I mean, I feel like COVID should have been that moment that did that. In my opinion, if that should have shown, it did. It laid capitalism bare. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I think the thing about what you're describing, I guess, like because I know exactly the type of people you're talking about. It's because some accelerate, like when we're talking about like left-wing accelerationists, a lot of those people kind of see themselves as like quasi-Marxist in that their notion of accelerationism is predicated on seeing conflicts that drive social development and like furthering the conflict and exacerbating the conflict. Whereas like the kind of thing that you're kind of talking about, I think is more like almost like a form of what Marxists would like pejoratively describe as idealism. Not that that's also what that word means.
Like if you go study accelerationists online and look at the studies that have been done by various organizations and researchers, that tends to be the kind that they're looking at as the ones that are just, it's a kind of a grab bag, because I mean, if they're all kind of trying to create conditions out of essentially chaos that they can't possibly know that will result in those conditions, then it's all just kind of the same thing, in my opinion. It's all kind of just like you're just making, trying to make shit happen. You're trying to stir the pot, having no idea where the fucking chips are going to fall, because you have strong feelings that's what's going to, I don't know. It all just seems fucking silly to me, and like a way to feel like you're doing something rather than pay attention to the conditions that we're existing in. And I understand not having any faith in the system. I kind of don't, but I think that there are still ways to involve yourself with the system that might maybe achieve positive outcomes. So
all right, Vaughn, be nice.
Well, this is just the same fucking guy, I think. So
it's just the same guy, dude. If you get banned from a comment section, are you really gonna?
So I mean, this is the same guy that a minute ago he was saying, "Look, they're all online. We're all online, you fucking moron. Everybody is.
Everybody's online.
To act like there's certain people that are just only online and they don't exist in the real world. This is where fucking political engagement happens these days. You goddamn idiot. Okay, so
it's a live stream, brother. I don't know. It's like,
I mean, for me, accelerationists, there's two kinds. But both want essentially the same things: to rebuild from the ashes. Now, some type of accelerationists want to rebuild from the ashes of the thing they burnt down, and then the others are just happy to let something burn and then start all over again. That's how I have it in my head. The idea of accelerationism. There's actively participating in smashing the system to rebuild, and then there's letting it happen and then rebuilding. But the goal is the same: is to let people give into their sort of, I guess nihilism would be the best way to
yeah, I think
describe it.
I think the thing that I see, because Dane brought up the Tabernacle earlier, and I know left-wingers who think the way that he does, and I think the thing that drives them is the understanding that what makes liberal electoral politics functional is that it sort of creates these double bind situations for left-wing voters, especially for ones from marginalized backgrounds. And I'm keenly aware of that critique. I think that it's not the response that I would have, but I think that responding to the nature of being like trapped in a system where you are basically
I'm sorry, but I think it's fucking interesting that once we start talking about acceleration, suddenly we get a fucking surge of people we've never heard of before with names like Truther Cop and Trutherism and shit. And you know, just fucking
yeah, who fucking knows? I don't know.
That's fun. That's fun. Thanks guys for fucking, you know, confirming everything I'm saying, my suspicions about people on the internet, you know, and their fucking intentions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, rule of thumb, anyone who uses the word truther is not a truther.
What?
That's
and anybody that's trying to downplay some element of the internet, whatever it is, you know what I mean, that you're just discussing, as if it's just nothing. Nothing to see here. Nothing. Don't worry about that. Oh yeah, everybody's accelerationist, huh, buddy? They did this with the Nazis too. Remember, look where we are right now, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, they did it with Trump.
5 years ago, when mentioning Nazis or the far right, what are you talking about? The far right? Well, everybody's far right. Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah.
People did it with Trump for the years leading up to 2016. Oh, he's never going to get elected. Oh, he's a fool. The Conservatives would never have put him.
Why
as
do
their,
all of these people have several fucking
presidential
accounts?
candidate.
That's crazy. You guys are fucking crazy, man. Jesus. Bob, are you okay? You doing okay?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm actually getting a little wore out. So,
yeah.
I'm still here.
The fact of the matter is, you have to accept that all of these people exist because there's 8 billion people in the world and there's 330 million in the US. So some people will now. How much effect they have is also something to note. But the fact is, of course, accelerationists exist. Yep. They're very vocal about it. Just like all people on the political expect. So to pretend that they don't exist or that they're not an issue is naive.
It's actually bad faith and fucking, you know, yeah, bullshit. I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just trolls that think they found a fucking, you know, something that they can press a button on and get a reaction out of. Could be that.
Yeah.
Basically what I see is acceleration says anyway. But, you know, trolls fucking brought us Trump. So, you know what I mean? I don't downplay anything at this point.
I don't think you can.
You remember those comments we got last week, Bob? What was up with that? You think that's...
what comments are you speaking of?
The ones where it talked like there was only 2 people on stream and there were several of them.
Oh yeah, I got like a whole bunch of them. People talk about there's only 2 people on stream. It's like there were 5 people on yesterday. What the hell are you guys talking about? To me, it screams that like somebody just posted in a Discord server and like gave them talking points, gave them probably somebody who only watched the beginning of the stream because at the beginning it was just you and me.
Wow. Look at how, man, they're quick to make a new account, dude. Like, quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is actually entertaining at this point.
Wow.
You know, please be sure to like and subscribe with every account that you have. Anyway, you know, where we're doing something right, talking about something that they don't like. That's always the case here whenever they start showing up doing that, whether it's Nazis or whatever. Here's the thing.
In every other walk of life, we understand that someone else's decisions don't affect ours. But we have blinders on when it comes to gender identity. Even people who are otherwise progressive will mask it as compassion. They'll say things like, well, what if someone transitions and then regrets it? Look, I'm not going to pretend that doesn't happen. Of course it happens. It happens 3% of the time. 3% of the time that someone transitions, they then regret it and detransition. But I also read a story of lottery winners. 3% of people who have won the lottery have regretted it. The same percentage, which shows me that the regret has nothing to do with gender identity. It just means 3% of people will never fucking be happy. That's what that means. Yeah. 3% of you are regretting buying tickets to this show. It's okay. I know who.
Anyway,
it's good.
Fan of Steve, is it Hofstetter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very funny and very, very thoughtful as well. Let's have more comedians like him, unless we would just make shit jokes about.
Yeah, I kind of
easy targets.
I avoided him for a long time because I watched enough comedy stuff to get suggested him quite a bit, and I just kind of ignored him. I thought he was just like trolls or hecklers. I'm gonna fucking shit on hecklers, and he does that, but like he does more than that. So glad I finally clicked. France is going on strike on the 10th. Uh-oh. Go France,
I mean, France is always on strike, to be fair. I mean, good on them. They do strike about everything. But
shit. Sean, dude, thank you. 5 actual Fandom memberships.
Nice.
If they all go to the same one person who's doing
the same guy's 5 accounts, right? The whatever the fuck he had several. Good
all 5 of them can be members now. Awesome.
Yeah, welcome guys. You'll get to see some videos early and stuff like that.
This is the anti-capitalist protest.
Good.
Still, that's
good.
I'm surprised they're actually going on strike for that. So,
I mean, France. You're surprised France is doing that? Don't they kind of know?
Yeah, particularly going on strike having a strike over it. They'll have protests over it. Usually, they strike over any time the government tries to infringe on any of their rights. So, I think the last one that I remember was when they wanted to reduce or increase the retirement age. They protested. They went on strike because of that.
More. Thanks, bro. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There you go. True. No self-respecting acceleration.
That's true.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for that. Bob, you doing a stream tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be streaming tomorrow, same time as this, pretty much. We'll be going over some comic books, then of course going over some Chud content. You know the usual. It'll be fun. That'll be at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty sure Eric's got to stream a couple hours earlier. So if you just have some fun before Eric's stream, come check me out. And if you know the drill. I've done some days in work in a row.
Well, I have a suggestion for something we could do on your stream tomorrow.
And what are we gonna do? Just
yes,
ride Bob into the sky?
In every other walk of life, we understand
that. Sorry.
Well, fuck it. That'd probably get views. So let's try.
Get
off me.
Never got a membership on any channel. I mean, you have to click on getting memberships. You have to do that, opt into it.
Yeah, you have to opt into it, which I didn't realize.
I mean, if you're saying you just haven't been gifted one before, then that's just kind of like luck of the draw, I suppose.
In that case, try harder.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What about you, Ryan? What do you got going on?
It's business as usual for me. I've got a Rockford review coming out on Saturday as usual. I've got a couple of others in the bank as well that I need to edit when I get a chance, and that's about it for me.
Good times.
There's a couple of super chats that came in quite a while. Well, about an hour ago that I don't know if we covered them all.
I think we have up with them.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, there's this one. Do I think Trump's body is actively decaying? Yes.
All of our bodies are actively decaying, technically, but Yeah, I think his brain
I
is
think they're going to
liquefying.
put Donald Trump in the. First of all, I think they took him to the beach that makes you old, but they're going to put him in the Warhammer 40K Emperor chair and connect him to the living force or whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
Or has he got one of those? Has he got a cocoon in one of his pools in Mar-a-Lago?
And then thoughts on Rand Paul openly saying a CDC official sexual orientation disqualifies them from the position as health secretary.
Obviously,
Fuck Rand Paul.
Yeah, the only use Rand Paul is when he's objecting to government spending, and he doesn't object to government spending anymore. Not with his votes.
Yep.
He only objects to it when it's the Democrats doing government spending now. So that tells
Ron
you
must
everything you
be
need to know.
disappointed, you know. I'm just saying, Ron Paul.
That's what happens when you've got a first name as a last name and a last name as a first name.
True. Ron would vote against the goddamn Republicans.
Yep, and then he would go take pictures with the Nazis.
Yeah.
God damn, Sean, couldn't be outdone, huh? 5 more memberships. Thanks, man. That is awesome. You guys are fucking incredible. Also, you could go to other channels and do some of that over there. They are also great channels, and look, I'd say better than me, generally. All these people, all the people I get to stream with and talk to. By the way, did you guys see that pillar of garbage face reveal? Holy shit!
Yes, I know. It's depressing as well.
And, like, was he? You know, I was
He's
thinking,
great
I was
to
like,
make it.
keeping his face hidden because he was afraid people would not take him seriously because he's so fucking handsome. Is that what it was? What was it? 'Cause it's like you kind of just suspect maybe he's got like a growth or something. I don't know. You know, nope. It's fucking gorgeous. Like
Maybe he was doing it for our benefit because he already makes fantastic videos that we're all jealous of, and now we're jealous of how he looks as well as how he sounds and what he makes. Damn handsome and young as well. He's young. He's not even old.
No,
if he was
yeah,
old and handsome, I could deal with it. He's young and handsome, which means he's got many
I
years
know
of
that
being
I know
handsome
he's
to
got
come.
great musical taste as well. So it's like, man, how did this
Yeah.
guy fucking exist? You know, why not me? Right? I mean, I want to be young again.
All right, too existential. Too existential. Pull it back.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as far as I go, I'm going to be streaming on Friday, as I typically do. I kind of liked doing the bit of a deep dive into the 09A and 764 stuff last week, so I might find something else that I can kind of dig into that maybe isn't so connected to a recent, horrible event, but is also kind of fascinating. And we'll see. I got a couple of potentials that I'm looking at right now. And yeah, so tune in Friday for that. As far as comics go, yeah, watch Bob tomorrow. And
yeah. And I will also a little bit of promotion. I'll also try to get a new video out on, I want to say Saturday and Tuesdays. I'm going to try to do videos. I'm going to try to do some sort of stream clip on Saturday, and then some sort of original video on Tuesday. Original videos will almost always bomb, but please check them out. They're usually the ones I'm proud of.
yeah, I salute you for continuing to do the Trek. I actually saw a Trek thing. I posted it in the Discord. I'll tell you later. But I figured it might be something you might want to discover or cover on stream or something. But,
oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I might dive into.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, here is some notes.